drive to center field. Scott back on the track, and the ball is a home run. It went over the orange line. It's back in play, but it's going to be a home run. And the game is tied 1-1. Satch Davidson went out from second base, out into center field to make sure, and the ball did go over the orange line, and Garvey has just tied it with a home run to left center field. More center than left center.
Boy, he's strong. That ball was not even hit that high into the air. Almost a line drive home run and into the deepest part of the Astrodome.
Dodgers have left-hander Steve Howe in the bullpen again. Astros have right-hander Dave Smith throwing.
Of course, Ryan on deck.
Ashby, high drive, deep right field. Down the line, if it's fair, Astros win. Astros win. Home run for Alan Ashby. On the first pitch from Dave Stewart, Ashby gives the Astros a 3-1 victory in the first game of the National League Western Division Championship Series.
Boy, oh boy, Dwayne, after 9 innings of almost no offense, I think that home run almost stunned the crowd. It was unbelievable. Everybody was ready to go on into the 10th inning, and all of a sudden, Alan Ashby just teed off on a Dave Stewart fastball and hit it out of the ballpark right down the right field line.
Reynolds kept it going with that pinch hit single to center. And then Ashby on the very next pitch homers into the mezzanine and right. And the Astros win it 3-1. We'll be back with the totals in just a moment. Andro will be next. 2-2 to Lopes on the way. Strike 3 call.
Oh, what a beautiful pitch to Wayne. The fastball appeared to be outside, and it just tailed in at the last minute and caught the corner at the knees.
7 strikeouts for Ryan. Ground ball by the mound. Garcia's there. To Cedeno, and we're going into the bottom of the ninth. 1, 2, 3. Dodgers out in their half of the ninth. Bottom of inning 9 coming up, tied 1-1.
That's well hit to left. Goodbye. Home run, Padella. The right man, the right place, the right time. That's how Keith characterized the Yankees as we open the telecast. And this reporter suggested that today it might be Piniella. For this moment, at least, it is.
Well, he tried to turn it over a little bit. There's all the 5 home runs on the road and all off left-hand pitchers. As a matter of fact, the last time that the Yankees faced Caldwell, it was Piniella and Watson who hit home runs. You see, he did not get the arm down when he tried to turn that over. It just flattened out on him, like I was talking a while ago. Piniella was out in front of the ball, but able to keep the bat back and then pop it at the last moment.
Look out, boys. Forget it. Mr. October. 3-0 New York.
Well, he hung it. He got the curveball in a good location a couple of times, and then he turned around and he ended up hanging one. And Jackson, it appeared that he was just laying on that breaking pitch because he rode it out of here in a hurry. And here comes Bob Rogers. Boy, there is a great swing right there.
It hasn't happened to him that often this year, but the drama is somehow still there. The familiar, dramatic look at what he had done.
3-0 Yankees.
Thomas can't get it. Astros win.
Boy, Denny Walling is really something. He did it in Cincinnati, and he does it again this afternoon. And he's going nuts out there. Well, Larry,
they keep coming back like a song. I think
certainly
I said that
do.
at the top.
all you got to do is back them into a corner, and they come out swinging.
11 innings, 1-0.
Ball is well hit to left. Well hit to left. It's a home run. He got a hold of it. Winfield, I think, got his glove on it. It is a home run. Now he flips it back up in the crowd, and Molitor homers to left at about 380 feet, and the Brewers are back on top 4-3.
If you want to see an effort, this has got to be A+ for effort. Now, this is the kind of athlete Winfield is. He goes up over that wall and goes actually, he just keeps going. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that effort.
Well, remember now, I told you if we're standing flat-footed, he can reach 10-6.
Deep to left field. That ball's out of here.
Left field. You should hear a roar. So the Dodgers win the game 6-1. 1 run, only 3 hits, 2 errors. For Houston, 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Los Angeles. Houghton was the winner. Nepper was the loser. Garvey, a big 2-run homer in the first.
In a battle with the Dodgers and Valenzuela, as we look at Garvey and Socha on second and on first.
Right center field, it's going to drop. Base hit, 1 run will score. Heading for third is Socha. They got a chance. They got him. But the run scores. The run counts. Garvey got across the plate before Socha was out. So it's 2-0 Dodgers. The inning is over. Ozark is giving Socha right there a lecture. Son, never make the first out or the third out of an inning at third base. And it might have cost us a run if not for the hustle of Garvey. Good throw by Terry Poole. Here he comes again, going to his right, gets rid of it in a hurry, and very accurately.
So at the end of 7 innings, the Dodgers pick up another run. The score here, Los Angeles 2, Houston nothing.
And they want to get ice on it in a hurry, and that's what they're doing right now. Juventus said, look out! Herrera hits it very hard. What about the Dodgers? So the no-hitter and the shutout go with 1 swing of the bat by the young Dominican Republic third baseman, Pedro Guerrero.
Popped up. Here is the last pitch of the ball game that Valenzuela made. He wins the ball game 2-1. The Dodgers 2
2-2 now. Play tomorrow. Tough luck loser, Vern Rule. You can see a very happy Valenzuela as he watches his catcher, Socia, make the play. And he was right there should that ball pop out in the mid. He's sneaking up there.
He loses him, it may be over. Ball is hit deep to right.
It's gone. Forget it.
Yankees take the lead.
Take another look at it. There it is. And there's no question about that one either.
Happens fast in this game, doesn't it? A listless, dead ball club. And Reggie Jackson lit the fuse. Campbell followed suit. Well, that story tells a lot about the Yankees in this series. 1 for 10 with runners on base.
That was the home run he hit in Milwaukee, Howard.
That's right. When he had a brief flash in memory as Mr. October. Now he seeks another.
He just found it.
It's gone.
Faithful, stricken by the swing of Reggie Jackson's bat as he rifles it over the upper deck facade. The ball game is tied at 2.
He got a high curveball, and I'll tell you one thing, Reggie got all of it.
Look at that. See, that time with that smile, he knew.
Well, if he doesn't know it by then, why, he's never hit one before. He knows that ball is gone.
That's Mr. October.
Just show him something different. Now here comes the heater. Oh, gave him a curveball. He pops it up. Greg Nettles. Game is over. The New York Yankees have defeated the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 7-3. Dave Righetti gets the win. Goose Gossage, his third save. Righetti's second win. Moose Haas, the loss, his second loss. The Milwaukee Brewers down 2-0, leaving their home stadium, came to New York and made a contest of it, winning 2 in a row before finally succumbing tonight.
So the usual pandemonium on the field.
Left center field. Scott going back near the warning track. They can't get it. Handle scores 4-0. Here goes Martin for 3. Listen.
Cordy hung a breaking ball as we show you the replay on Garvey's triple. A near collision between Cruz and Scott. Short hops the wall. RBI triple. That sun is very bright. Just off the edge of the glove of Jose Cruz. Garvey was thinking inside the park home run. He never stopped from home plate all the way to third.
He's not running to first. Now he's running. The throw is just barely in time. Here's a look at that last play. Royce, Dave Roberts, he misses the pitch. It goes off Scioscia's glove. Now watch Roberts. He doesn't run. Scioscia tracks it down, realizes he has to throw him out. Roberts finally starts to run, dives, but it's too late. And the Dodgers win. The final score, 4-0. Strikes, 2 out. Well, it's down low for the Dodgers now. That's the last pitch. Popped him up. This could be it. Milborn over. Winfield, and Winfield makes the catch, and the Yankees win it. 3 up, 3 down. The final score: Yankees 3, Oakland 1. Murphy with 2 base hits. He doubled in the 5th. Back. Double play. Game is over. Yankees take a 2-0 lead. Rebreen, Robertson back 3-6-3. And the Yankees go into Oakland leading by 2. Final score, there you see it. New York 13, Oakland 3. Winning pitchers Frazier, the losers McCanny. A big 7-run inning in the 4th. Pinella's 3-run home with a big blast. Deep to left field. Near the track. Back as Henderson leaps and cannot make it. Home run for Pinella. Collection of experienced professional hitters. Pinella may be the, well, call him a pro hitter if you want. He is something.
And now Raines checking with Ossie Virgil to see if they'll let him swing. 2-0. 2-0 with the bases loaded. And it's hit into right field. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run will score. Guerrero's throw to Scioscia. Hit out at the plate. So the Expos still get 2 runs, but they pile up a lot of hits. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits plus a walk, and the Dodgers are lucky to get out of it with allowing only 2. Look at that throw and tag by Scioscia to get Warren Cromartie trying to score from second. At the end of an inning and a half, the Expos 2 and the Dodgers nothing. Two balls and no strikes. Line drive, backhanded by Spire, and they get the double play at second, and the game is over. The line drive is caught by Chris Spire, and he throws to Rodney Scott for the double play. And boy, did that turn it off in a hurry. It looked like a huge break on the bad hop, but the double play silences things here in the 9th inning. The totals on the ball game for the Expos to win it and get a split: 3 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error, although that 1 error is questionable. It was really a bad hop. The Dodgers, no runs, 5 hits, and 1 error.
Center field deep, misjudged by Bassetti, can't get it. 3 runs will score. Nettles has himself a double and a new record. The Yankees have a good-sized lead, and look at the reaction on the bench. They feel that nailed it down right there. The Yankees, on the 3 RBIs by Nettles, have taken a 4-0 lead.
A drive to left field.
White tees off. Look at him. He knew that it had a chance. Baker way back. The left fielder didn't have a chance. And there it is, a home run for Jerry White. 4-1 Expos in the 6th inning. Well, at Olympic Stadium, the most vocal, enthusiastic crowd we have ever seen witness a baseball game is ecstatic.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, a high fly ball, left field. Going back as Raines, he won't get it. That ball is out of here and a home run. Steve Garvey has given the Dodgers a 3-1 lead with a 2-run homer here in the 8th inning. Garvey just teed off on a fastball by Bill Gullickson, and the Dodgers lead by 2. Now in the stretch. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and it's swung on, fly ball, center field. Dawson going back onto the warning track. Dawson at the wall. That ball is a home run. That ball is out of here, and a home run for Rick Monday, and the Dodger bench clears to congratulate Rick Monday, who has hit a 2-out home run here in the 9th inning, and it appeared that Andre Dawson had room as he went back to the fence, and he just flat ran out of room as the ball cleared the fence at about the 385 mark.
Well, as we mentioned, Ron, Rick Monday, a fastball hitter in that situation. Steve had to come in with a fastball. He hit it hard. He hit it to center field, the deepest part of the field. Andre went back on it. Thought he had a chance, but it just cleared the fence.
A 9th inning home run. And the Dodgers have gone ahead 2-1. Dodgers leading by a run. The pitch to Jerry White. He swings. It's a ground ball to the right side. Up with it is Lopes. The throw to first. In time. And the ball game is over, and the Dodgers have won the National League Championship. Jerry White on the first pitch from Bob Welch. Hits a tapper to the right side. Lopes over for it. Threw on to Garvey. The ball game is over, and the Dodgers have won. The Dodgers came on here to win 2 straight after they dropped the first game here at Olympic Stadium, and they win a tough one. Just by the narrowest of margins, 2-1 on a home run with 2 out in the top of the 9th inning by Rick Monday of Steve Rogers. So the Expos are winners for Fernando Valenzuela. A save will go to Welch. The game-winning RBI, of course, to Rick Monday for that homer. So that's the story as the Expos took it right down to the wire. They didn't quit right to the final moment of the game, but finally they lose by just a run in the deciding game of a 5-game series. Once again, the final score, the Dodgers 2, the Expos 1.
Now the Yankees are sitting pretty with righty Bob Watson facing a lefty. First base is open, and the lefty is on deck, but the plan is to pitch to the bull. Watson, after 17 professional seasons and more than 1,700 big league hits, becomes the 17th player to homer in his first World Series. 2 men on for the Dodgers with 2 out in the bottom of the first. This 3-run home run by Ron Shea makes it 3-0. And coming against Righetti, who had given up just 1 homer all season, it provides a clarion call to the home fans that the Dodgers are indeed back in it. It's a bang-bang double play. Ron Shea proves that Greg Nettles hasn't quite cornered the market on hot corner heroics. Shea's brilliant play squelches a Yankee rally and caps a perfect day for number 10, both in the field and at bat.
The 2-2 to Shea. It's hit high in the air, to deep left field. Winfield going back. She's gone. Giving the Dodgers a 3-0 lead in the first inning.
Well, you couldn't throw a ball more down the middle and say, gets his arms extended. Good fastball hitter, hits it deep to left.
You go to the well once too often, is the old saying. Righetti falling behind Garvey got away with it. Falling behind Say, he did not.
Curtain call for Say.
Adelante los Dodgers 5-4 y vendrán los Yankees, Manfred, Winfield y Piniella. El brazo allá a la derecha. Vámonos a la acción con el Toro Valenzuela tratando de colgar el último cero, el más importante. Se enfrenta a la parte gruesa del orden al bate de los Yankees. Manfred, Winfield y Piniella. El primer strike y la gente lo corea estentóreamente en el estadio de los Dodgers. Les ha colgado 5 ceros consecutivamente después de su principio errático. Titubeante, se ha crecido el Toro y ahora está fajándose con la parte medular del orden al bate de los Bombarderos del Bronx. Manfred lleva de 4-0. Difícil inning para el Toro, pero está entero. Abanica, yéndose por la de afuera. Una bola y 2 strikes, rascándose la barba ya la sorda y clavando la barba Bob Lemon, mientras el chamaco de Choaquila, Sonora, está fajándose tratando de completar la ruta. Allá viene con este lanzamiento un roletazo y foul. Pelota 9 para el Toro Valenzuela, un hombre al que rodea el drama. Nadie está quieto cuando se encuentra en el centro del diamante. Una bola, 2 strikes. Lanzamiento, bola. Qué buen screwball metió ahí el Toro Valenzuela para que se fuera Jerry Mumphrey. Segundo bate de los Yankees, atrás de él Dave Winfield y atrás de este Lou Piniella. Se tiene que enfrentar a la crema innata del orden. Atar lanzamiento, un roletazo que va a trabajar Lowe. Tírenlo corto sobre primera y un out y faltan 2. Acercándose a la gloria Fernando Valenzuela, buscando su primera victoria en Serie Mundial. Allá va el gigante Winfield, el gigante dormido. De 9-0 en la Serie Mundial. Hoy 2 bases por bolas, más un ponche y una rola a la tercera. A 2 outs de cubrirse con la gloria de un triunfo en la Serie Mundial, el chamaco que el día 1 de noviembre cumplirá 21 años de haber nacido en Choaquila, y a un lado de Navojoa. Hay un out, bases limpias. Venga Fernando, va para la goma y abanica el primer strike. Creciéndose Fernando más y más con el apoyo de estos 56.236 fanáticos. Bueno, vamos a quitar 236 que hayan venido para ver triunfar a los Yankees. Y que sean 56.000 los que están aquí en el estadio y millones en toda la República Mexicana. Tiene a Winfield el 0 bola y un strike. Allá va Fernando. ¡Bola! 1-1, por poco pellizca la esquina de afuera para el gigante Winfield. El hombre de los $20 millones frente al humilde de $45,000. A Winfield le pagaron un contrato de 10 años por $20 millones. A Fernando Valenzuela solamente $45,000 para que fuera un relevista del equipo. Allá va Fernando contra el supermillonario. Se le metió un foul largo por el right field. La gente en Astros, es el 9º inning, la última oportunidad de los Yankees. 5 carreras por 4. Fernando se compuso desde la 4ª entrada, apoyado con un excelente fildeo, a veces dramático, del equipo, y le está colgado ya 5 argollas y está cerrando duro. Solamente 2 hits en sus últimas 27 apariciones al bat, por eso es doblemente peligroso Winfield. La gente está impulsando a Fernando, este va para la goma, un batazo para el central difícil, pero está cargándose al derecho. Allá está Guerrero y se lo lleva. Hay 2 outs. La gente está puesta ya de pie esperando el final del partido. Viene Lou Piniella. Hay 2 outs, la gente palmeando de pie, no se puede quedar quieta. La sorda esperando el último out para dispararse como caballo desbocado, abrazar a Fernando. Está aguantando toda la ruta Fernando Valenzuela. Pide cambio de pelota. Vean cómo está el estadio. Atestado y sacudido de nervios bajo el impacto de la emoción tremenda que emana Fernando Valenzuela. Nadie se ha movido de su asiento. Aquí viene Lu Piniella. Una carrera de diferencia únicamente. Valenzuela tratando de aguantar esa ventaja. En un juego que ha tenido 2 volteretas, estuvo adelante Fernando 3-0, lo pusieron abajo 4-3, volvió a estar arriba 5-4 y así está dando el remache al partido. Venga Fernando, el primer lanzamiento contra Piniella, bola fuera. La gente le hace el boo a Jerry Cooney, al umpire principal, pensando que era strike. Lo que quieren es que ya caiga el último out para poner en todo lo alto a Fernando Valenzuela. El lanzamiento de una bola y 0 strikes, 2 bolas, 0 strikes. Empieza a ponerle drama a Fernando a su actuación. No puede acabar tranquilo. Suda Fernando y suda todo el mundo aquí, con los puños crispados, los que no están palmeando. 2 bolas, 0 strike, lanzamiento, el primer strike contra Piniella. Y la gente rompe el cerco de la emoción para victoriar a Fernando. Ya están coreando el último out. Hay 2 outs, nadie en base, 5-4, una carrera que no es nada, un resoplido del Toro y va para la goma. Foul y lo ponen 2. 2 bolas, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Una sola carrera tiene adelante a Fernando Valenzuela y a los Dodgers, campeones de la Liga Nacional. La gente forma un panorama sensacional, se pone de pie toda como uno solo y nosotros también, porque la gente tapa la visual completamente. Tenemos que echar la vista hacia el monitor porque tenemos una muralla de gente palmeando, victoriando, coreando al Toro. Venga Fernando, le gritan. Se yergue Fernando allá en el centro del diamante y va con el lanzamiento, la bola viaja. ¡Ay, no pegó! Fallaba con la sorda. Abrazar a Fernando Valenzuela. Conquista su primera victoria en Serie Mundial y bate a los Yankees 5 carreras por 4. Esto es un manicomio, Pedro.
Esto es un manicomio, efectivamente, Sonny. Bravo por ti, Fernando. Eres en el béisbol toro, mezquita, basílica y cactus. Suena esto a mariachis, a jarabes, a copal y a cera. Eres un jugador que tienes el pincel en la mano y la luz en el alma. Nunca olvidaremos esto. Adelante, chamaco.
149 pichadas necesitó Fernando Valenzuela para batir a los Yankees. Y la número 149 fue para ponchar al cuarto bate los Yankees. Nada más.
Crowd standing now as one, exhorting the rookie on.
2-2 pitch. Who threw 149 pitches tonight. That wasn't one for the Art Museum, but it was efficient, and he got the job done. And the Dodgers now trail 2-1, winning 5-4. The 1-2 pitch to Johnstone. Hit high in the air to deep right center field. Bobby Brown looking up. Johnstone put it out.
Davis has not been pitching the way he pitched during the season. And this team, what character? The Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, if you said where you didn't want to throw a ball would be out over the plate. Johnstone still has to hit it, but as you said, he's got a quick bat, good pinch hitter, hits it way back in right center.
They trailed 4-0, made it 4-2, then 4-3. Yankees got 2 runs in the top of the inning to make it 6-3. It's now 6-5. The crowd wants Johnstone to reemerge from the dugout, and here he comes. Line drive, base hit, and the game is tied. Going to the mound. So the Dodgers, with 3 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning, have tied it at 6. Lopes gets the green light, hits a chopper, and Rodriguez has no play. It's 8-6.
The whole thing has become absurd. The Dodgers have the most look-at-Tommy, the most patented attack I've ever seen. I talked about Seaver in geology. Hit the ball straight down on that clay around home plate. You got a base hit.
Here you say a sinker.
It's funny. Watch where it hits. Think, bang.
Robertson at second. Mercer at first. Randolph lifts a high fly ball to deep right center field, but Darryl Thomas moves back and makes the catch. What a ball game.
It was like a great fight with shifting tides and ebb and flow. And one had the sense that somehow the Dodgers would come back, trailing initially 4-0, then 4-3, then 6-3. They tied it at 6-6. They went ahead at 8-6. A Reggie Jackson homer made it a 1-run game at 8-7. Then this final threat. And maybe now, with the games tied at 2-2, the realization setting in that this may be a year of destiny for the Dodgers and not the Yankees. A team of character, a team that won't quit. Well, very well managed today by Tom Lasorda. The Yankee effort just in tatters with mistakes. So there it was, Al.
8 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers, 7 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error for the Yankees. The series now even at 2 games apiece.
If you talk to hitters that hit off Guidry, the thing that makes the slider so difficult is when he throws his good one, it's just a little bit out of the strike zone.
Guerrero to deep left field, and the ball game is tied.
It's all it took.
Guerrero slumping in postseason play, but a man with good power, hit 12 during the regular season and ties it up here in the 7th.
And there you saw a slider that wasn't down and in, and that ball is crushed to left field.
And the Dodgers, with a tremendous team spirit, have become the team in this World Series with the right man in the right place at the right time. Look at them.
The Dodgers even here in the 7th inning. 1-1 with 1 out and the base is empty. To deep left field again, and the Dodgers have the lead. Back-to-back home runs by Guerrero and Yeager, 2-1 Los Angeles.
That fastball in the middle of the plate. We said all series that Yeager can hit the fastball. He homered to right field in New York in the first game. Another ball deep into the left field seat.
The Dodgers lead it 3-2. The Los Angeles Dodgers down 2 games to nothing. Now up 3 games to 2. We'll be back in a moment to talk with Pedro Guerrero, and Steve Yeager will return to Dodger Stadium after this commercial and a word from our local station.
Pouring thunderstorm passed through last night. When the ball game was called yesterday, it had not been raining at all, but the weather forecasters were so obvious in their prediction there would be heavy rain last night. They went ahead and called the ball game because of the wet conditions that existed from the previous day's rain. And sure enough, about 8 o'clock last night, 8 to 9, there was a huge thunderstorm that came through and pummeled the city. But today has been quite comfortable, and Bob Watson, who might be the Yankee MVP, is at first base. He's had a fine World Series, his first. Over at second base for New York, Willie Randolph. Randolph has been troublesome for the Dodger pitchers. He has not swung at a single first pitch so far in this World Series. He's really been making them pitch. At shortstop, the young man who has been quite a story for New York since Bucky Dent was hurt and done a heck of a job for them, Larry Milburn. And down at third base, the presence of this man may add a great deal to the New York fortunes before the night is done. Greg Nettles, though in batting practice he did not hit the ball deep to the right side, he hit it well to the left side. Dave Winfield, whose bat has been relatively silent so far in this series, but his defense has been outstanding in left. In center field, Jerry Mumphrey, who disappeared from the lineup in a couple of instances that raised a lot of questions, but he's back there tonight, and they'll need him with the wind whirling around out in the huge acreage, and Reggie Jackson will be in right field. Back at the plate, it is Rick Cerrone, who has had a fine World Series, and on the mound, a master craftsman, Tommy John. The reflection on Tommy on the season and in the ball game in which he opposed Bert Hooton. He left the ball game with a 1-0 lead. Sinker ball pitcher, and Davey Lopes will lead it off for Los Angeles. Jim Palmer said it a while ago. The Dodgers have to be patient. They have to be willing to take the ball to the right side of this ballpark. It is just simply too big down the left side. Bill Russell to the on-deck circle, and we're about ready to go with game number 6. The dimensions, 312 down the left field line, but then it falls away very sharply to 387, and then 430, and then 417. Then you get back into right center. It gets shorter and shorter until you reach the corner. And so we begin. The Dodgers leading 3 games to 2. And the first pitch breaks off inside for ball 1 to Davey Lopes. Manny Mota coaching at first, Danny Ozark at third for Los Angeles. Sharp shot, Nettles at third. 1 out. We'll see whether or not that is true, because there is history to indicate it doesn't necessarily bounce. The home team has an edge. Bill Russell hitting 190 in the World Series, as you can see. There's a strike. First out was a ground ball to third. If I recall, Tommy John got 10 of the first 12 or 13 batters last week. They hit the ball on the ground. That's foul. On the edge, 0-2.
Really had 14 out of the first 18, so when he has his sinker ball working, he can be very tough, and I think that's one thing we have to look for. The balls that were hit hard in game 2 were all balls that were behind, when Tommy was behind in the count, and it was either 3-1, 2-0, where he had to throw a strike.
You see Nettles playing his usual deep position at third, and John is outside to make it 1-2.
And we talked in game 2 after Nettles had made all the outstanding plays in game 1 that you have to bunt and bring Nettles in to be successful against a guy like Tommy John.
Count holds on the foul ball at 1-2. The temperature this afternoon was in the middle 60s, but it's been sinking and sinking and sinking.
Heavy coat.
You need it. Punch to the right side. Randolph started to his right, comes back in time to make the play. 2 down. 2 ground balls.
And Now we're playing on a normal infield grass, and here you can see Tommy ahead in the count. Good low and away sinker. Russell goes with it, but it's too good a pitch, doesn't get much on it. Randolph breaking towards second, easily back and makes it the throw to Watson.
Steve Garvey has been hitting well. His numbers reflected there, but he has not hit well with runners on base. Though in all fairness to Steve, there haven't been that many instances where he has had a chance to deliver with runners aboard.
I think another thing very important tonight is with the tarp being all and then there you see manager Bob Lemon of the Yankees. With the tarp being on, a lot of times you have the moisture gather underneath the tarp. The infield will even be softer than it normally is here in Yankee Stadium tonight.
That's beat foul down the third baseline. To amplify on what I just said, Garvey is 8 for 12 with the bases empty, 1 for 8 with runners on.
I think there's a fairly good explanation for that. Is when there's nobody on, a pitcher has a tendency to relax. He'll give him a little bit better.
There's one up the middle for a base hit. He just stroked it.
Exactly. And as I was saying, you get a little bit better pitch to hit, but when you get a couple guys on, you try to make the better pitch, and a lot of times the batter's anxious and will go after a bad pitch and end up making it out. And here you see a ball up in the strike zone, and Garvey, as we've seen all series, goes right up the middle with it.
In game 2, Tommy started. He retired the first 12 before Garvey broke the string in the 5th with a single.
Now this is a very good pitcher for Ron Cey to return after the beating against. A controlled pitcher, not a flamethrower.
Hit well to left. It's going to sink in front of Winfield for a base hit. And so Garvey and Cey go back-to-back with singles against Tommy John in the top of the first inning.
And you saw Ron go up there with perfect confidence.
Dusty Baker.
Well, that he did, and he got a good pitch up. Again, you'll see it's up in the strike zone. A little bit away, but he not far enough, and he just wraps it to left field.
Now, Dusty Baker. 0 for 10 in the series with runners on base. Struck out 5 of his last 10. He struck. The pitch is inside and low for ball 1. Another point on Cey is that he gets a chance to play one more game at least, which means he won't have all winter to wonder whether or not he's going to be gun shy. I think he's already proven it to himself. Pitch is low and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
I think it's very important. Like he said, he'll come back with that batting helmet with the protector. We had Gary Renicky hit a couple years ago, came actually with a football mask because he was hit in the jaw.
Baker fouls it off.
But all your good hitters, they come right back. And I've seen Brooks Robinson, when he used to play for the Orioles, hit many times in the head. Next day, they want to get back in the lineup as soon as they can because they want to ease the doubts in their own mind.
Some do, but Ducky Wucky Medwick, the Hall of Famer, was never the same hitter again after he was beamed by Bob Bowman of the Dodgers.
Baker hits it in the air to the right side. It hangs up there for Reggie Jackson. The wind moves it around. Reggie holds his ground and he makes the catch, and the Dodgers lead 2 in the top of the first inning. Coming up, Randolph Mumphrey Winfield for New York.
In the lineup, batting second, Jerry Mumphrey. Dave Winfield struggling, batting third. The big man, Reggie Jackson, batting fourth. The big man of the series for the Yanks, Bob Watson, fifth. Greg Nettles back in there, batting sixth. Rick Cerrone batting seventh. Surprising Larry Milburn batting eighth. And the ninth hitter, Tommy John.
Defensively for Los Angeles, Steve Garvey will be at first base. Same infield you've seen all along with Davey Lopes up at second base. Jay Johnstone gave him some pine tar for his glove after his 3 errors. Bill Russell is at shortstop. And the miracle of the day, Ron Cey is at third. Had to wait until literally game time before we knew for sure he'd be there, but he's there. Dusty Baker is out in left field, very steady and dependable. Pedro Guerrero is in center field. Not a whole lot of experience there, particularly in this park. And Rick Monday, with left-handed power, is in right field. With Steve Yeager, as Howard indicated earlier, a chance to be the MVP after not playing very much. And on the mound, Bert Hooten.
At third base, Joe Altobelli.
Hooten was the bad luck loser in the second game. An unearned run scored. He left the game. It was 1-0 New York. Big question on Bird is whether or not the extra rest will have any particular impact. It might make him stronger and sharper, and on the other hand, it might not. We'll see. We'll know early, I think. As Willie Randolph comes to the plate, his only hits have been in Game 4, both to the opposite field. He's walked 7 times, and I said, in 23 appearances, he has not taken a swing at the first pitch.
Well, that batting average is very misleading because with the 7 walks, and he's been on, I think, on a couple of errors, out of maybe 22 times, he's almost been on base half the time. And as we've said all along in this series, for the Yankees to really be offensively successful, it really helps when Willie can get on base.
In the game that Hooton pitched here in New York, a gust of wind comes whipping in, and Bird breaks his delivery motion and scuffles around on the mound to get a little bit of footing. But in that game 2, which Hooton pitched against New York, Randolph was in the number 8 position. Mumphrey was the leadoff man. The first pitch from Hooton ducks in low for ball 1. The flags are pretty much straight out and toward right and right center. The pitch is inside for ball 2. And Yeager goes out. See what the problem is. Burt does not appear comfortable.
Well, Keith, when you first go out on the mound, right in front of the pitching rubber, normally you have to kick out in front of it. And I've always felt that the first batter of the game can sometimes be the most important because you don't have any idea of how you're going to feel. And obviously, if you can get him out and be able to throw strikes, it's very important.
There's a strike on the outside corner to make it 2-1. He has now moved a little bit on the pitching rubber too, Jim. He's moved to the extreme right-hand corner as we look from home plate, or left as you look in there.
Well, if you take a pitcher, I know personally there are some mounds, this one here in Yankee Stadium, that I like very much, and there are also other mounds, say in Detroit and other towns, that you do have difficulty throwing. And Burt's right over the top. This should be a pretty good mound for him.
Count is full now, 3-2. 3-2. Walking. That is the 8th time that Willie has had a free pass to first base, and now Jerry Mumphrey, the center fielder, number 2 hitter, with Winfield to the on-deck circle.
And we saw 6 pitches, and really his most effective pitch, which is a knuckle curve, he has yet to throw. Of course, the reason for that is he got behind in the count, and 3-2, wanted to throw a strike and wasn't able to. Missed with a high fastball.
Dodgers expect bunt. Say in tied at third. Garvey will be coming. Steve does not come, holding the runner, and Say does.
Mumphrey was suddenly, unexpectedly benched after a torturous evening last Friday against Valenzuela, when he steadfastly refused to go with the pitch and seek to go to right.
Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Yeager's throw to the left field side of the bag, and Randolph steals it.
Now, Jim, the Yankees, with their backs to the wall, have determined to try to make things happen. So they had Randolph running.
Well, that's right, Howard, and of course Hooton has helped him out by walking Randolph and then getting behind Mumphrey. 1-0 count's a pretty good count to run on. You know that Hooton, a veteran, is going to try to throw a strike, which he did. Mumphrey protected Randolph very well, and Willie with a good slide. Yeager made a fairly good throw. It's just a little bit to the left, and Randolph is the best base runner. And the man at the plate right now is their second best base runner.
Randolph on the corner now, and a 1-1 count to Mumphrey. Fouls it away into the Dodger dugout, and they'd still like to get him as far as third, where Winfield could deliver him with a ball to the outfield. There's Big David. Bill Eagert. not only because of his failure to hit in the series as well as he did in the regular season, but for other reasons as well. 1-2. Big lead by Randolph at second, and the pitch is foul back.
And we still have not seen the knuckle curveball, and I would assume the reason for it here is that Hooten would like to get Mumphrey to hit the ball to the left side so the runner will not advance. And if you throw a curveball to a left-handed hitter and he pulls the ball to first or second, you'll have the situation you talked about, Winfield up with a man on third. And in the first inning, they're usually going to play back and give you the run.
Taps it foul.
And there you saw the first knuckle curveball of the evening. When he is right, he has the ability to make that curveball. Normally, when you throw a right-handed curveball to a left-hander, it comes in towards him. But Hooten can make the ball either come in or go away. And that's one of the reasons he's been so successful over his career. He has a pitch that not too many pitchers throw.
Comes back with a fastball inside to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Burt's fastball coming in on the Jugs gun at 88, and that's about his range.
Well, that's what he was throwing last Wednesday here. So it doesn't seem to have the extra rest to make him any stronger. It seems to have affected his control so far.
The pitch is low to make it a full count, 3-2. So Burt's throwing a lot of pitches for the first 2 batters. The Dodgers had Garvey and Say with successive singles. And 2 out. They stranded it. Ball is looped into short center field. Guerrero coming hard. Good speed, and Pedro makes the catch. And you've got 1 out, and Randolph has to stay at second base. Pedro walking back a little gamely, as if he might have pulled something as he sprinted in. Maybe a little soft and in some spots a little slick in the outfield, though everybody seemed to be getting good traction when they were out working out. You see him dragging his leg a little bit.
Well, on a wet outfield like tonight, I think most of the times outfielders will complain that when they do try to get a jump on the ball, they will slip. And that's all it takes sometimes, and it's not extremely cold, but colder than it was in Los Angeles, and it's an easy way to pull a muscle.
Winfield has all of right center open. Hits it sharply to left. Baker has to stab it and whips his throw back in, and you've got 2 out, and Randolph is still at second.
When you're in a slump, that's how it goes for you. Winfield hit that ball a shot.
And Busty Baker, you see making a nice catch. What happens on line drives sometimes, they are what they call knuckleballs. Just like if you ever watch the knuckleball pitcher being caught by a catcher, you sometimes see the extreme difficulty. The ball will get out to the left fielder and start knuckling, and Baker made a nice catch. It didn't seem to be that tough a play, but as it turned out, tough ball to handle.
Reggie Jackson is at the plate now. Randolph at second and 2 out. Except for the home run off Steve Howe, everything Reggie has hit pretty much has been up the middle or the left center. And Hooten is high and tight and Dexy.
Usually sets up a good fastball away.
But Reggie usually responds to hitting the dirt with a hit.
Well, that he does. That ball was not as close as it may seem. Reggie, of course, is kind of diving towards the plate. Wants to be able to reach the pitch on the outside corner.
Got it outside. Reggie swinging and missing for 1-1.
I think the reason that you mentioned that Reggie's hit the ball left field is that the Dodgers, since 1977 and 1978, they've changed their book of how they want to pitch to Reggie. They pitched him inside those both years, and I think he hit 4 or 5 home runs. So they've tried to stay away from him. They'll give him the double or the single to left, but not the home run.
Bird is outside, 2-1. The center fielder Guerrero is way over in right center. I mean, way over. They're
actually playing Reggie like they would play a healthy Greg Nettles.
Yep.
way around in right center to pull the ball, even though he's hit every ball to left, which is kind of hard to understand.
Pitch is outside again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, he had a double down the left field line in Los Angeles, and it's wide open too because Dusty has shifted over as well. Foul back. So here's Bert Hooton now, 3-2 on another batter. First 2, Randolph and Mumphrey went 3-2. Winfield lined out to Baker. Now he's 3-2 on the 4th hitter in the inning. Randolph edging off second.
I think with the first base open, you might see a knuckle curveball in this situation, not giving in to Reggie.
They move Guerrero over, but it doesn't matter. Hooton blows him away with a good fastball as Reggie swings through it. And so the Yankees are turned away in the bottom of the first inning, stranding 1 after 1 inning of play, no score. No score as we go to the top of the 2nd inning for Pedro Guerrero, Rick Mundy, and Steve Yeager. Tommy John pitching for New York. And he gave up successive singles with 2 out to Garvey and Say at the top of the first inning. Then Baker lofted a fly ball to right field and Reggie Jackson.
Keith, both clubs had first inning opportunities. The Dodgers got theirs on consecutive Garvey Say singles with 2 out, Baker flied to right. But the Yankees, in the pattern of those LA games, had a man on second with nobody out. They never bunted him to third, otherwise they might have gotten a run. And once again, they blew a wide open opportunity. That's been their history in this series. There's Bert Hooton.
The quiet Texan. Tommy John delivers outside to Guerrero, ball 1. Ball is hit to right. Jackson goes back. Got room. 1 out. Wind's going that way. So the ball hit to the right side is going to get some help tonight.
Number 16. There you see Reggie making a simple catch.
He looked at it second time around to make sure that he had it. Might have had a little trouble.
I've always felt with Reggie wearing glasses, sometimes the glare of the lights bothers him.
Well, here's Rick Mundy, who's 2 for 10 in the series. But he does have power. Hits that off the end of the bat, cues it to Milburn. And 2 down.
The young man with the devastating left hook, particularly to the liver area, Jerry Cooney. Setting up potentially a fight against Joe Bugner, which sounds kind of ludicrous on the surface, but it may happen. But sooner or later, the showdown. Cooney against Holmes. What?
Joe Bugner?
Joe Bugner, yeah.
I thought you were going to ask what he has in common with George Steinbrenner, a good left.
No, George doesn't have that kind of left.
Steve Yeager, who hit a home run to right field at Yankee Stadium. This time he pulls it to the shortstop Milburn. Larry throws on the bounce and gets away from Watson. And Yeager's aboard. Error shortstop.
Fairly simple play. We saw Milburn in the series in Los Angeles. Throws coming up just a little bit short. There's another one, and Watson can't handle it for the error.
The Dodger pitcher, Bert Hooton. Wrapping his bat in pine tar. I watched batting practice from up here tonight because there were 2 or 3 people I really wanted to see. You see the Dodger catcher, Steve Yeager, hustling on down the line. Steve has pretty good speed. You can see the ball was there in plenty of time for the out, but bounced away. But Bert hit the ball well in batting practice. This time he just squibs it back to Tommy John. Well, there you go. So the Dodgers have now stranded a total of 3 base runners in the ball game. After an inning and a half, there is no score. Bob Watson, 4-12. He has not struck out so far in this World Series. And Bert Hooton is outside for the first pitch for ball 1. 2. Another interesting thing about Bobby Watson and what he has done in this series, only in 2 occasions has he come to the plate with runners on base and failed to advance them. Hit the outside, 2-1.
Watson thinks the ball was outside. What they've done with Bob the last couple of games is they've gotten ahead and then they've gotten him out inside. Really into the first 3 games.
Fouled away.
We saw a breaking ball, and he hurt them with balls out over the plate when they got behind in the count.
He was 2 for 4 in the game 2. 1 single off Hooten. The count is now 2-2. Bert Hooten continues to throw a lot of pitches. 3-2 again. That's the 4th man that he's gone to 3-2 with. Foul back. Three-two pitch, no score. Bottom of the second. Say at third. Gonna bounce it. Got it. Garvey took it in the stomach and held on. Goodness knows how many errors Steve Garvey saves at first base during the course of the season. Tough play for Ronnie. A long throw. Look where he is, all the way back behind the coaching box practically. First base umpire Larry Barnett waited a while before he made the call to make sure that Garvey had it. Here's Greg Nettles.
Can't measure the importance of this man to the Yankees. When he got hepatitis last year, the Yanks weren't the same team. They haven't won a World Series game since he was out.
First pitch, hits it sharply to Davy Lopes. And so Davy survives the test in the early going. He handles the first ground ball rather cleanly.
You notice that Greg did not hit to the right side in batting practice, Jim, which can only mean he's favoring his thumb, and he didn't get around good on that one.
Well, it was a breaking ball, and you could see after he hit the ball that his hand was almost off the bat. This is something he has said that Charlie Lau, the batting instructor, is trying to get him to do, but that's not his normal batting swing.
Rick Cerrone is in there. And Rick had stepped away in time. I thought time was called, but I guess not. Ball 1. There's a strike. 1-1.
Dorothy Hamill.
It's foul.
You still seeing Dorothy?
No.
Terry Royce, who pitched an absolutely brilliant game on Sunday. Why did you say no 3 times?
For emphasis. Ground ball. Shortstop Bill Russell. In the dirt again, Steve Garvey comes in it cleanly. As far as we can tell, the Yankees have resumed their position on the field. Loosening up, the wind continues to swirl, and you're getting some paper, bits and pieces of debris blowing around. This is the coolest night that we have had, and it's also the least settled as far as the weather conditions are concerned. The wind has been blowing pretty consistently in that direction since we came to the ballpark in late afternoon. Tommy John back on the mound now to loosen up. Tommy threw only 5 pitches in the second inning. He threw 15 in the first. Bert Hooten, on the other hand, has thrown a lot of pitches up there. Bert had 21 pitches in the first inning. He threw 12 more in the second, so he's thrown 33 so far in the ball game. And we've been delayed here now the better part of 8 minutes.
Didn't bother Tommy. He told the umpires he was willing to pitch with the power failure.
Yeah, I'm sure. He is indeed a craftsman at his trade, isn't he?
That he is. I still don't think he's in as good a groove as he can be in. While it seemed that Boot in the last inning came along and threw his knuckle curveball when he was behind in the count. He made some good pitches, seems to be settling down.
Second time around for the Dodgers now. Top of the order, Davey Lopes, Bill Russell, and Steve Garvey.
And we thank you.
Steve Yeager, with whom we spoke in the pregame show. Terribly interesting fellow. Wearing a beard, as you can see. He did not shave when the series started, and therefore, with the Dodgers now ahead 3-2, he steadfastly refuses to remove the beard until and unless the Dodgers lose, which he hopes will be never.
That will be one of the great sports stories of this year. If in fact Yeager should wind up the MVP in this World Series. My goodness.
Well, he attributes his success. He's played more in the last week as far as being a regular player than he did all year, and he feels that has a lot of reason for him being so successful.
Lopes lays it down as foul. He didn't get it down to left side, where Nettles had shortened up a little on him, took it down the right side, and he just dribbled for foul. Davey had in game 3 leadoff double, which ignited that 3-run outburst for them. But he is not a patient kind of a leadoff man at all.
We've discussed that, Keith. You'll remember, evidenced by the lack of many walks, in contrast with Randolph.
But what Davey can do when he gets on, he's 9 for 9 in stolen bases, or 8 for 8 in postseason play. And he also stole 20 out of 22 during the season, so he can do some base running.
Outside, 1-1 on Davey Lopes. Davey bounced to the shortstop his first time. Nettles going to cut it off. One out in the top of the third.
With the clay around home plate at Dodger Stadium, Jim, that might have gone down the left field line.
We saw Nettles come in, and again, a nice play. Very important, not only the first hitter of the inning, but also Tommy John's had trouble with Steve Garvey, and 2 for 3, and he got a base hit already tonight.
Russell goes to right, gonna sink for a base hit. That's hit number 3 for the Dodgers. So Billy's aboard, and here's Garvey. Steve singled first time up.
The first baseman, Steve Garvey.
Wouldn't be surprised if the pitch is in the strike zone to see Steve go after the first one.
Mr. Consistency.
Tommy does like to get a strike on the first pitch.
I think another thing we can look for, go back to the Houston series where they were struggling in the 5th game, Tommy hit and run with Steve. Try to get something going off Nolan Ryan. He hit a single in the right field, first and third situation.
Russell goes, ball bounces, he's out. Garvey swinging and missing.
Well, that's your hit and run right there. Tommy made a good pitch with a breaking ball. Garvey couldn't lay the bat on it, and Russell, even though the throw bounces, is out easily at second. He was counting on Garvey being able to get some wood on the ball, and hopefully, with the infielders moving, get the ball into the outfield and create that first and third situation.
I hope the fans noticed that Bill Russell did exactly what you suggested at the advent of the contest, Jim. Went to right.
1-1 to Garvey. Nobody aboard now, and 2 out.
Now that makes it look like Steve can't hit, or it hasn't been hitting in the clutch, but that's really not representative. He's a hitter.
Fouled at the plate, make it 1-2. Steve 3 out of 4 against Tommy John. Two and 2.
Well, what's so unique about Tommy John is that everybody knows what he's going to do. One of the writers asked Manny Mota, the hitting instructor for the Dodgers, how he'd hit him. He says, I wouldn't swing.
That's a little tamper at third. Just barely.
He was lucky, Mr. Nettles, on that one.
Well, he couldn't have made that play.
Exactly, and that's why he let the ball go, and here's experience. He knows he has no chance of throwing Steve out, so he lets the ball, and as you said, look at, missed it by about an inch. If it hits the bag, it is a fair ball.
And that's where he was lucky.
Exactly. Ron Cey in the on-deck circle for Los Angeles with 2 out, nobody on. Russell had singled and was thrown out.
He talked to me at length today, Ron, over at the hotel where the Dodgers are staying, about how Goose Gossage came over to see him in the clubhouse after the game, and how Mrs. Gossage ran over to Mrs. Cey immediately the accident happened.
2-2 pitch. Garvey hits it in the air to center field for Mumphrey. And there you have it. After 2.5 innings of play in Game 6 of the World Series, no score at Yankee Stadium. That takes a little reading, and I'm sure you can get the message. Larry Milburn, Tommy John, and Willie Randolph for New York. Bottom of the 3rd inning, no score. Bert Hooton has thrown 33 pitches so far in 2 innings. Strike. To Garvey. He'll do it himself. 1 out.
Number 25, Tommy John.
Tomorrow night, if we need it, Game 7, and it's the matchup of the great rookies. Fernando Valenzuela, Dave Righetti. I thought last Friday night's baseball game was one of the guttiest performances I have ever seen by Valenzuela and by Tom Lasorda. Here's TJ.
You realize Yankee pitchers or the pinch hitters have come up with 20 runners on and produced no hits?
What did you say, Jim? They're 0 for 35 or something like that? There's Fernando, who will get the call tomorrow night.
Fernando in his hideaway.
Otherwise, his next start will probably be opening day next year.
That's right. 1-1, 2 strikes.
Hooton has settled down. I think something we'll have to watch for is in the 7th inning of the Wednesday game, he walked 3 batters, usually an indication of getting a little bit tired. He's not known for completing games, so even if he does pitch well, we will probably see the Dodger bullpen at some point tonight.
Which I think has been buoyed some by the presence of Forster. Terry's pitched well on the occasions he's been asked to do so. 2-2 pitch. Just low. So that's what, 5 times he's gone to 3-2 on a New York batter.
It's not something you want to do as a pitcher because you just have to move the ball in the middle of the plate a little bit more, and when you do that, you give up more hits.
That's fouled away by Tommy. Foul ball. TJ thought he had one. Oh, he thought he had one. He was already pumping for second. Rick Monday catching it out of the corner.
Well, it's been 3 years since he's had the opportunity to win his own game. I guess that was one of the big thrills of pitching.
Well, he hit it pretty well to right center field, but Guerrero had him played perfectly. The wind carries it a little bit toward right. Pedro makes the catch. 2 down. Now to the top of the order, and the second time around for the Yankees, Willie Randolph. Walked his first time, stole second. Therein lies part of the tale of the game so far. Yankees didn't get him to third, where Winfield could have produced him. Pitch is high and away, ball 1. Ball is hit well to left. Baker going back. It's gone.
Here you see a low fastball behind in the count, wanted to throw a strike. Willie, a good fastball hitter, jumps on it. Line drive into the left field seats.
Out of here at about 375, his second home run in the World Series.
1 hit, 1 run.
Pitch to Mumphrey, low, ball 1.
Standing on the mound saying, why couldn't he just been a line drive for a base hit to left instead of going out of the ballpark?
Fair ball on the chalk. Caron's off the wall. Mundy pursues it, and Mumphrey holds it first with a single.
Took a perfect bounce and roll for Mundy.
So the Yankees rattle bird a little bit with 2 out in the bottom of the third. Randolph's home run for a 1-0 lead. Mumphrey's aboard, and here's Dave Winfield. When this big guy comes to the plate, you've got to think sooner or later the law of averages, or whatever it is, sooner or later. Yeager bluffs the throw. Mumphrey back on his hands and knees at first base. Ball 1.
I'll be interested to see if they run Mumphrey. They ran Randolph in the first inning, indicating a change of strategy and aggressiveness they didn't have in Los Angeles. We may see it again here.
Pitches inside. Mumphrey made no move. 2 balls and no strikes. Joe Altobelli comes out of the third base coaching box, comes up the line. Winfield turns and has a good look.
That's a pretty good pitch to run on. 2-0. You know they're not going to pitch out, or you would think not. Also, Hooten's probably going to throw a strike here.
Doesn't go, and he misses. 3 balls and no strikes. 50 pitches now by Bert Hooten, and you get activity in the Los Angeles bullpen.
Action, that's it, in the bullpen. Terry Foster, as Keith suggested.
Dave Stewart with him. Ball 4. There's the Dodger pin. Lefty is Foster, the right-hander Stewart. Here's Reggie Jackson. And the primarily New York crowd is up stomping. Yankees lead 1-0. Randolph's home run with 2 out at 375 feet left field. Jackson, his first time, struck out swinging. Checks on it. Ball 1.
And you can see Hooten wanting that pitch. Anytime you're pitching and you have 2 men on, 2 outs, trailing by a run, and you make a pretty good pitch on the outside corner with a guy like Reggie up there, you want every strike you throw, or at least you thought you throw. And both Yeager and Hooten thought that was a pretty good knuckle curveball on the outside corner. First time up, they struck out Reggie with a high fastball, but he may not chase that pitch behind in the count.
Fouled off. Count is 1-1. Willie Randolph at second. Willie Randolph hit the home run, and Mumphrey at second, and Winfield at first. And Mumphrey edging down the line. Russell behind him, sort of peeking over his shoulder, trying to read the pitch. And Reggie hits it in the air to the left side for Baker. Plenty of room for Dusty, and he makes the catch. So the Yankees get a run on Randolph's home run and lead after 3, 1-0. It'll be Ron Cey, Dusty Baker, and Pedro Guerrero for Los Angeles in the top of the 4th inning. New York leading as a result of Randolph's home run. The line score 1-2-1 by the Yankees, and New York is stranded 3. For Los Angeles, 0-3-0, and they have stranded 3 against Tommy John.
So the Dodgers have grown accustomed to being behind, and they are in their accustomed place. Yankee fans no longer count on anything when the Yankees move ahead, especially by only 1 run.
Ron Cey, who had a single, his first time up tonight, thereby completing his miracle. A frisbee sailing onto the field, and he'll carry it off.
It's always a relief when they only throw frisbees.
Yes, sir. Indeed. Worth noting, I think, that Ron Cey is wearing a cap with a flap. The other day, when he was struck by the Gossage pitch, he did not have a flap. But for a fraction of an inch. Tommy John ready. And the pitch is on the outside corner for strike. Cey can reach in left here with his power, but he takes a dandy curveball for strike 2. One and 2. I flew back with Ron the other day on the plane coming back to New York. He was playing cards and seemed to feel fine. Swings and misses and strikes out on another sharp breaking sinker. Just dove.
And here you see the sinker just kind of fades away. And Ron Cey swings right through, way out in front. And there you saw Tommy John get ahead of him with a breaking ball. Missed with a sinker. May have been looking curveball. Came back with another one for strike 3.
Dusty Baker. Right center, base hit. Well, Dusty has not had that pleasure very many times in the series. As he came to the plate, he was 2 for 19. He's now 3 for 20.
The center fielder, Pedro Guerrero.
Now the young man who tied the game with a 1-out home run after Baker had fanned against Ron Guidry in the 7th inning of the 5th game. And boy, did he crunch it, Keith.
Those folks sitting in the left center field pavilion must have had quite a thrill to have 2 shots come at him like that. Bang, bang, almost in the same place, it looked like. Hit well to left. At Winfield, right place. And you've got 2 out.
The way that kid swings, Jim.
Well, he's a good fastball hitter. The first time he threw him a bell-high fastball away, line to right. Here you can see the ball's up in the strike zone. He gets his arms extended and pitching can be sometimes a lot of luck, and that ball's hit right on the nose, right at Winfield.
Rick Monday now with 2 down and Dusty Baker at first.
It seems that Tommy John is making some good pitches, but doesn't seem to be as sharp as he did last Wednesday night, at least to me. The results been the same though.
Maybe he'll settle down. Jerry Royce did.
That was a heck of a game when Jerry pitched, wasn't it? He
Oh,
got stronger and stronger
brilliant.
and stronger.
Exactly the point, Keith. Brilliant game.
Lopes got him in trouble early, but that's what happens. Jerry Royce has been 15 seasons playing professional baseball. Tommy John has been around for ages.
Got a brand new arm though,
yes,
Jimmy.
Exactly. Gets more effective as he gets a little bit tired.
There's a strike.
Terry Monday. Monday's lady.
Rick didn't play last Wednesday. They played Kenny Landreau. Tommy got him for a big strikeout. So you see Tommy Lasorda going with a more veteran player. Rick hangs in there well against left-handers. You just have to make good pitches to get him out. What he's done now is work Tommy into a 2-ball, 1-strike count where might get a pretty good pitch to hit.
2-1. Fouls it away. Make it 2-2. I think Tom Lasorda's had a pretty good series too, don't you? As you see Dave Righetti, who will pitch tomorrow night. Incidentally, that Valenzuela-Righetti matchup, if it comes, will be the first time ever in World Series history both starting pitchers were rookies. But to go back to the point on Lasorda, I think he's had a pretty good series.
Tremendous.
In Game 7. Yeah. I'm trying to get a hold of too many facts at once, I guess. First time ever when they've gone in there with all the marbles and chalk.
If it comes to a 7th game, I think Dodger fans will see the real Righetti.
Well, he wasn't the pitcher that the Orioles saw on last Friday. Didn't throw as hard as he could. He'd only given up 1 home run all year. Not taking away from Ron Say, because he can hit home runs on anybody.
Baker goes Monday, a shot through Watson's glove. He nailed it. Bobby flagged it. I would think that would be a base hit. And I'm not scoring it.
No, we got 3 fellows scoring it, and it is a base hit.
Baker goes to second. Monday at first for Steve Yeager.
So once again, Yeager in a big situation.
Is he a man of destiny? He did not hit Tommy John in Game 2.
No, but he did hit that scorching liner up through the middle that Tommy knocked down and made a fine play on. Or the game would have been tied 1-1 at the end of 7 innings.
Low. Hooten on deck. One would think here they would pitch rather carefully to Yeager with the pitcher Hooten on deck and not be terribly concerned if they should walk Steve. There are your base runners.
Yeah, I think the only thing they would be concerned with is that the tying run now is at second, and the minute you walk them, as we said, Hooten swings the bat pretty well. You do put the go-ahead run at second base, even though it is early in the game.
They pitch to him. He hits it into left field for a base hit, and here comes Baker. The game is tied.
So he does it again. Remarkable.
Here you see the ball up in the strike zone. Hit right between Milbourne and Nettles. You see Milbourne making a nice effort. Baker running on the plate scores easily.
They do strike back, don't they?
They're pecking away too. They've got 6 base hits, as you see here in the top of the 4th inning. We're all even at 1. And here's Bert Hooten. A strike. Frazier's now in the New York bullpen. Young man who pitched well. It's what I saw of it in the game in Los Angeles the other day. Foul. Strike two. 2 out.
That he did, Keith. He pitched well both Friday night and Saturday night.
He had no
Astro Clay Infield got him on Friday night, and the combination of maybe the wrong center fielder. Bobby Brown went in for defense, had trouble with a fly ball. As it turned out, he ended up losing both Friday and Saturday, even though he pitched well.
2 strikes to Hooten. 2 on and 2 out, and it's outside. A 1-1 ball game. Dodgers win, it's over. Yankees must win to force game 7. Just misses.
And there you see again, Tommy John is not being able to get the ball down in the strike zone. In this inning, the ball that Monday hit, even though it might have been played by a better fielder than Bob Watson, was on the inside part of the plate where he normally doesn't throw it. The ball to Yeager for the single to left was up in the strike zone. And there is a good sinker for strike 3.
So he strikes out Bert Hooten. The Dodgers strand 2 more, but they get a run on Yeager's single, and the game is even at 1-1. Bottom of the 4th inning we go now. For New York's Bob Watson, Greg Nettles, and Rick Cerrone as the Dodgers get a run to tie in the top of this inning. And Bert Hooten, he had 2 men, Dave Stewart and Terry Forster, throwing back at him in the top. Actually, the bottom of the 3rd and a portion of the top of the 4th, but they are both now sit down and put on their jackets in the bullpen. Frazier is back sitting down in the Yankee bullpen. Bert got Bob Watson to bounce the third baseman Say his first time. Strike 1. That may be the first time in the ball game Bert has been out in front. To the shortstop, Russell. 1 out. Well, it's another one of those games that's just beginning to simmer and simmer and bubble. So much at stake. Greg Nettles at the plate. Thing to watch here is whether or not he can keep his top hand on the bat. The sore hand. The left one. Foul back.
And there you saw Hooten go right in on his fist. In last Wednesday's game, he moved the ball around, and this is when, of course, Greg's hand was healthy. Ended up striking him out inside.
I thought you could see that Nettles winced.
Foul back out of play.
Again, there you saw him take his hand off the bat.
Face showed a little pain on the earliest swing.
Well, I was told that his hand is broken. He has a hairline fracture on the inside of his thumb, and you can see there the hand not on the bat. And it doesn't seem to me that Nettles is going to be the home run threat that he normally is. Just cannot. To hit home runs, you have to have that top hand.
That's hit down the line in right field to the corner. Nettles will take a turn. Monday with the ball. Nettles going for 2. He'll stand. He doesn't choose to stand. He goes in on his tummy. He had plenty of time.
What did you say, Jim?
I said he's only going to hit doubles tonight, Howard. Well, what do I know? He hit 9 home runs off me in his lifetime. I ought to be an expert on it.
Got the inside pitch, but again, you can see a bit of a teeth grinding experience. Ball did not carom well off the wall for Monday, and though Greg chose to go in sliding, not knowing exactly where the ball was, he was in easily. And Hooten is in with a strike to Rick Cerrone. Yankees with the go-ahead run now out at second base with 1 out.
Where'd you say it was, Rick said? Right over the outside corner. That's the way you saw it, Rick said? That's the way it was.
Well, they got him out with knuckle curveballs the first time, and that's probably the best pitch to Cerrone. And there you saw another one, kind of up in the strike zone. Excellent fastball hitter. Of course, everybody is second-guessing him because on Sunday, with a couple of opportunities to get the Yankees way out in front.
First ball pitch hitting.
Yes, and not being very selective. The book on him is the fact is he is a first ball hitter, but he usually gets a pretty good pitch to hit, and that's part of being patient at the plate.
Dandy pitch, wicked pitch, strikes him out. 2 down.
And here you see the knuckle curveball. You'll see the ball drop.
Shortstop.
Goes down and in. Cerrone swings right through it. Excellent pitch.
Larry Milburn. The phrase of second guessing. Jimmy, if it were not for what we have come to call second guessing, sports wouldn't be any fun. Wouldn't be anything to talk about.
Well, here you see they're going to intentionally walk Milburn. Of course, Milburn drove in the winning run last Wednesday night on a knuckleball out over the plate. Knuckle curveball up and hit it, poked it down left field line for eventually what turned out to be the winning run.
John is scheduled. Frazier's throwing in the bullpen. TJ took off his batting helmet.
Lemon is asking Tommy John how he feels. Lemon is not disposed to take out one of his aces this early. He's also sensitive to earlier criticism that he's gone too long with his pitch.
And there you saw Tommy wave. I think he's through for the night.
Yep. He talked with Clyde King. John does not look terribly pleased about it.
No, he doesn't understand it. He doesn't agree with it. But you see the manager's reaction to that which has transpired in the past. Now, if Lemon's going to put up a pinch hitter, it is Bobby Mercer. Somebody has finally checked out, because Bobby Mercer has a marvelous career batting average against Bert Hooton. He is 13 for 34 at .382. Things get a little sticky when you've got an ornery owner and you've been criticized in the 3 prior games. So Lem is much more quickly reactive tonight. He now awaits a new second guess. But in point of fact, Jim Palmer has said that to him, John has not been in a good groove all evening, and he has given up 6 hits. Only 1 run, but 6 hits. And in his most recent inning, gave up 3.
But I think there is a tendency of veteran managers to stick with veteran pitchers. I know in our ball club in Baltimore, Earl Weaver would much rather stay with a veteran pitcher that's been there before than to go to a rookie such as George Frazier. But again, you can second guess anything, and if Bobby Mercer gets a clutch hit and Frazier pitches like he did in game 3 and 4, it might be the best move that he can make.
Nettles at second, Milburn at first, Mercer the hitter.
This is Mercer.
Oklahoma Bobby is up there. Both Hooton and Bobby spent time with the Cubs. Pitch, strike.
Now Mercer is, to use Jim's word of a few moments ago, a selective hitter, a patient hitter. He waits for his pitch on average.
Dodgers shade him well to the right in the outer defense. And the pitch is outside 1-1.
Well, I think that's a sign of somebody that's going to be successful as a pinch hitter. On our ball club, Terry Crowley, Jose Morales. Terry has like 90 lifetime pinch hits. Jose, I think, 100. They go up there and look for a pitch that they think that they can hit. It's what you call self-confidence.
Ball is hit well to right. Mundy has room. Makes the catch. So Bobby Mercer hits a fly ball to right field with 2 out to end the inning. Yankees strand 2 more. That's a total of 5. And you'll get a new pitcher for New York, George Frazier, coming on in relief of Tommy John. Lopes, Russell, and Garvey will face him. George Frazier coming in, making his third appearance in the World Series. And we've already told you that he performed well in the 2 games out in Los Angeles. Tommy John, having pitched to the Dodgers through 4 innings of play. Not particularly happy to be pulled for the pinch hitter, but it's done. In the meantime, as we wait for Frazier to warm up and the game to resume, let's go back to a conversation Howard had with Steve Yeager, who begins more and more to become a prominent personality in this World Series. Here's Howard and Steve.
Finally, Steve, what is there in your makeup that enables you to respond to postseason play? All the crises.
Well, maybe it's trying to fulfill a childhood dream where everybody wants to get in the World Series and win the World Series, become world champions in the game of baseball. Maybe it's that, Howard. I can't explain it, why I do so well. It's just that I try hard and I try to be successful and I want to win. And that's the most important thing to me, is to walk around with a World Series ring on my finger and walk around with the things 20 or 30 years from now and say that 1981 we were the world champs.
So George Frazier comes on. Pretty good sized fella at 6'5", 205, but he has had quite a year for himself. He was acquired out of the St. Louis Cardinal chain in '81. He began the season with Springfield in the American Association, moved over to Columbus when he was traded over to the Yankee organization from the Cardinals. And then he was called up by the Yankees at the start of the so-called second season, taking Gene Nelson's place on the roster. And through the first 13 and a third innings he pitched with New York, he didn't allow an earned run. As a result, he obviously was kept on the roster for the playoffs and the World Series, and he's performed well. He has a very good fastball and a hard sweeping sort of a curveball. And he'll pitch to the top of the order. Davy Lopes, Bill Russell, and Steve Garvey, all right-handed hitters. Tommy John in the 4 innings he worked through only 48 pitches. Low to Davy Lopes for ball 1. He comes out of the bullpen throwing at better than 90 miles an hour. There's a strike. 1-2. But the hole, Nettles can't get it, neither can Milburn, and Davy Lopes is aboard at first base. First man up against Frazier. That one had eyes. Just danced through there.
Well, it's a 1-2 breaking ball, and what it does, and here you'll see it just get between Nettles and Milburn. What it does, it allows Davy Lopes to have a chance to steal second on Tommy John. Even though he doesn't have a great pickoff move, he's looking right at the left-hander, and Davy only runs when he thinks he can make it. Against a right-handed 6'5" pitcher, it takes a little bit longer to get rid of the ball. A little bit better opportunity to try to steal.
Nettles shortens up at third, comes to the edge of the grass. See whether or not Russell chooses to bunt him over. He's directed to do so by Tom Lasorda.
Lasorda, well aware that Frazier is not only a right-hander, but also a young pitcher.
Russell pulls it away and takes a strike. Nettles coming in to talk to the young pitcher. Lopes coming off first. A 1-1 ball game. Dodgers up, top of the 5th inning. Pitch out. Lopes is not going. Against Gossage, the count was 0-2. Davy got a stolen base. Against Russell, he went on 0-1. Against Davis, he went on at 0-1. He's got 1-1 now. Russell bunts, and it stays fair. Watson picks it up, steps on the bag, and gets Russell, and Lopes is over at second.
And they especially have to watch him on second base, one of the pivotal plays. the Saturday ball game was stealing third base.
Third base.
Which, as we said then, is probably the easiest base to steal. You don't have somebody holding you on as closely. And here Watson, you see him taking the out. The last thing the Yankees want right now is a big inning. If this runner, Davey Lopes at second, would happen to score, they're still in the ball game. Plenty of time to get the tying run and maybe go ahead, but just don't want a big inning in the fifth inning because it puts you right out of the game.
Pretty tough customer up there now, and Steve Garvey. One out. Ball is hit high in the air to left field for Winfield. 2 down.
The third baseman.
So Steve jumps on the first pitch.
Bob Lemon. I wonder if he has any doubts within himself. He's only human as to whether or not he should have taken out Tommy John. But when you're second guessed from here to heaven and back, you begin to feel, I guess, deep within you, you've got to do something. Maybe even against your own impulse.
But I think any manager watching Tommy John struggle through the first 4 innings, I mean, he made the right move. He sent up a guy, like you said, Mercer, who has a good track record against Hooten. It didn't turn out well, but I think it was well conceived.
Over the mound. Bad bounce. Can't handle it. Lopes coming. 2-1 Dodgers.
Here you see a good sinker. Just chops it up the middle.
Hit right on the edge of the grass.
And there you saw it kicked right.
Yep. Hit right on where the grass and the dirt meet. And he just skipped right between them.
Seems uncanny, doesn't it? The way their ground balls are going. Part of this whole momentum they developed in Los Angeles.
2-1 Dodgers as Dusty Baker takes a strike from Frazier. A base hit for Ron Cey.
It seems like most of the bad things that happened to the Yankees happened when George Frazier's on the mound. I'm sure he's talking to himself.
Pitch is outside.
It is strange, isn't it?
But he knows what his job is, and that is to keep them from scoring any other runs.
That's a little looper. Randolph going hard. Can't get it. Drops for a base hit. Cey turns and goes to third. They're just picking his bone.
It's agonizing, must be, for the Yankees. They haven't had a well-hit ball this inning. Not really.
It's no man's land back of second base. Mumphrey had no chance to get it. Randolph was the only hope, and it's just beyond his reach. So now with 2 out, you have Ron Cey over at third. You have Baker at first, and Guerrero, your hitter. Ron Davis is up in the Yankee pen. Rudy May up near the wall, the left-hander, and both of those gentlemen had to profit from the rainout, I would think. Guerrero hits it high, hits it deep to left center field. Mumphrey on his horse, going, can't get it. Cey scores from third. Here comes Baker, rounding third. Guerrero heading for third. In with a triple, and the Dodgers have got the big inning going.
So you have to feel for Bob Lemon. You simply have to.
He hit that ball to the fence at 430 feet. And the Dodgers lead 4-1.
And I wonder what Tommy John is thinking.
And here, after a series of good pitches, throws that ball right down the middle. Guerrero, as we said, an excellent fastball hitter. Way out of Dodger Stadium. A triple here in Yankee Stadium.
4-1 Los Angeles, and now the power of Monday becomes a plus for Los Angeles as he stands in against the right-hander. Low for ball 1. There's a strike. Lopes led the inning with a single. Russell sacrificed him to second. Garvey hit a fly ball to left for the second out. Then Say single. Baker single. Guerrero tripled. 3 runs are in. One and 2. Appeal at third, and they get the call from Terry Cooney.
Silence in Yankee Stadium is like a tomb.
New York won the first 2 here. The Dodgers went home, won 3 in a row. Rained out last night. Now the Dodgers are sitting on a 4-1 lead. They have 10 hits in the ball game here in the top of the 5th inning. Davis and May continue to throw in the New York bullpen. After Monday comes Yeager. Good sharp breaking curveball snapping off inside. Monday strikes out. The inning is over, but it's a big one for Los Angeles. 4-1, Dodgers, middle of the 5th. All right, Bert Hooton now with a 3-run cushion as he pitches to New York in the bottom of the 5th inning. And he'll be pitching to the top of the order. Los Angeles has not won a world championship since 1965. Yankees turned them away twice since that time. This is the 11th time these two teams have met, New York having won 8 of the previous 10. Randolph had a home run in the 3rd for the first run of the ball game, so he's walked and homered and has yet in this series to swing at the first pitch. He's walked 8 times. There's the first one.
George Frazier has a chance to become the first pitcher in World Series history to lose 3 games. Not an enviable thing. Meanwhile, look at Ron Cey as a potential MVP. Coming back from the beating. He's gotten 2 out of 3.
One and 1.
By the way, in 1919, when they played a 9-game series, Jim, a pitcher did lose 3. It's harder in a 7-game series, obviously.
Fouled away by Randolph. Make it 1-2. Old Texas Bert's liable to get pretty tough now.
Well, he knows his job is. The advantage is swung to the Dodger. He knows that he does not want the Yankees to get back in the game in this inning.
Ball is hit high in the air to left field. Baker going back. Can't get it off the wall. Randolph is in at second base standing with a double. A walk, a home run, and a double for Willie.
Randolph's power is even amazing the Yankee fans.
As I said, he goes 1 and 2. He's ahead in the count. And there you see a high knuckle curveball. Randolph crushes it to left center. Baker can't get to it.
That's a home run at Dodger Stadium because that's out there about 395 on that fence. And very quickly, the Los Angeles bullpen is active. Jerry Mumphrey is at the plate.
And again, as in the first inning, when Randolph walked and stole second, Mumphrey, even though they're behind by 3 runs, it's important he gets the runner over. Even 1 run puts him back in the game.
Little check swing, line drive right to Ron Cey. Welch and Howe. Bob Welch, a right-hander, and Steve Howe, a left-hander, are in the Dodger bullpen. Here's the check swing, little looper, right to Ronnie Cey. That was almost a gimme, wasn't it? Here's Dave Winfield. Lined out to left and walked. His batting average, you got to shake the bucket to find it. Low and away for ball one. Randolph double to lead the inning.
Bob Lemon got a field snake bit. Subject to the second guess now. Removing John and second guess on using Frazier.
Davis is continuing to throw in the New York pen.
Well, that was his choice, Keith. Ron Davis. How could he risk Davis, who had had a very bad World Series?
As we said earlier in the series, I think that's been the key.
Davis is fed.
Exactly. They used him twice, and he was ineffective both times.
Failed twice to hold leads.
And it changes your outlook on your bullpen. You can't go to him as early or in a crucial situation because you're not sure he can do the job. That's something they did not have to contend with during the regular season or in the mini playoffs or the regular playoffs. Davis was outstanding.
Winfield at 2-0 takes a strike to make it 2-1.
Should note that was a knuckle curveball. Who knows that he really has a difficult situation. He has Reggie Jackson on deck. He gets behind Winfield. Doesn't want to give him a great pitch to hit because it can mean an instant run. Randolph on second, but you don't want to walk him, and he made a clutch pitch. Came back with a knuckle curveball, 2-0 count, and threw it for a strike.
If Winfield should get aboard, of course, Jackson comes up. He comes up representing the tying run in a 4-1 ball game. There's the Dodger pen, the pitchers we named for you. Howell, the left-hander, and Welch, the right-hander. 2-1 to Winfield. Foul. 2-2. The Dodgers got 3 in the top of this inning. Bert Hooton gives up a double to Randolph to lead the inning. Mumphrey a check swing pop out to the third baseman. Hooton trying to keep the Yankees at bay. If he can get out of this inning, it becomes a big inning for him because he has stopped them in the bottom half of the inning in which his team scored 3. High pop-up. Winfield falls down at the plate as Yeager comes back and makes the catch. So Winfield fouls out to the catcher for the second out. David getting some boos as he goes back to the dugout. Now Reggie with 2 out. Well, is he still Mr. October? One thing you know, he is still dangerous. Popped him up. Yeager coming back for a look. It's on the screen. Out of play. Up and into it.
And who knows this is a big run because the Yankees get a run here. Every time you get a man on, the tying run comes to the plate. And it seems like when you're out on the mound pitching and you give up that extra run early in the ball game, even though you still have a 2-run lead, it comes back to haunt you at some point.
Pitch is inside.
Second time that's happened to Reggie today.
Again, not all that close, actually, because you see Yeager never left his crouch. Reach up and take it. But as Jim pointed out earlier, Reggie is stepping into it. That's inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. 4-1 Dodgers, 2 out. Yankees at bat, bottom of the 5th.
And if you ever talk to Reggie why he is Mr. October, it's because of his aggressiveness, and you can see it right here. He may strike out, but he's not going to get cheated up there. If he gets the pitch to swing at, it's going to be a pretty hard swing.
3 balls and 1 strike. He hit a fly ball to left field back in the 3rd with 2 on. Bobby Watson, the batter, on deck. (3-1).
Again, you see Hooten getting behind in the count. Has enough self-confidence to throw a 3-1 knuckle curveball. It was a ball, but Reggie chased it. Which I guess illustrates how difficult a pitch it is to hit.
Especially when it's a grounder.
You make a good point there.
Randolph led the inning. He's still at second. Led with a double. 2 out, 3-2 count on Jackson. Lopes throws him out. The inning is over. The Yankees have now stranded 6. 4-1 Dodgers. Back with more action after this from our local station. Ron Davis is the 3rd New York pitcher now, and here's what's happened to him in the World Series. In Game 1, he walked both of the batters he faced, went out in the 8th inning. Game 4, retired the first 3, then he walked a man, gave a home run. There was an error behind him, gave a single, and left in the 6th inning. So he has not had a good World Series. In the 3rd inning, Willie Randolph hit a home run to give New York the lead 1-0. In the 4th inning, Baker singled. Mundy delivered a 2-out single. Yeager singled to bring Baker home. In the 5th inning, Lopes with a single. Russell sacrificed him to second. Ron Say a single and a run batted in. Then came Baker's single. Guerrero followed with a triple at 430 feet. 2 runs scored, and that's where we are. 4-1 Dodgers as they come to the plate in the top of the 6th inning with Steve Yeager, Bert Hooten, and Davy Lopes.
Yeager promptly tied up the game after the Yankees had assumed a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd.
Jumps on the first pitch and fouls it in the crowd.
Yankees have had a number of opportunities. Twice they've had men on second base with nobody out. In each case, they failed even to ever advance the runner. Winfield and Jackson have each failed twice with a runner in scoring position.
1 ball and 1 strike as he's inside. New York came to the World Series with 9 pitchers. Los Angeles came to the World Series with 11 pitchers.
That's because of the designated hitter.
Right.
This game is of a pattern with the 3 prior Dodger victories. Once falling behind, they quickly recapture, go ahead, and their pitching is held up.
Foul ball.
And in each and every game of the last 4, manager Bob Lemon involved in controversial judgments.
Davis gets Yeager. Of a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Bob talking to Charlie Lau, the Yankee batting coach.
Attention, Bert Hooten.
All right, here's Bert. Inside, ball 1. Lopes to the on-deck circle for Los Angeles. Ball 2. 2-1. There are no Drysdales on that pitching staff. Remember when Big D was used as a pinch hitter by Walter Olson?
The Winder could hit. Dodgers had a history of good hitting pitches. Big Nuke could hit. Herb Palika could hit.
Jacket will come out for Bert Hooton as he goes to first base on the walk.
This is exactly what it has exactly been Ron Davis's pattern. Struck out Yeager apparently with ease. Then walks the opposition pitcher.
Well, that's what happened on the Saturday ball game. 6-3 lead. Helped the Dodgers get back into the game with a 1-out walk, then threw the home run to Johnstone.
Had trouble the same way in the Milwaukee series. Which is why Lemon went to Frazier. He no longer trusted Davis.
Top of the order for Lopes. Russell to the on-deck circle with 1 out. And the pitcher Hooton on first. Which is high.
You really think about it, there's so many less situations in the American League because of the DH rule where you can get to second guess a manager. In the American League, Mercer would have been batting in that position possibly, or a DH would have been. Tommy John would have been allowed to remain in the ball game, and you would have had a veteran pitcher and also had the chance of having a veteran hitter hit off Hooton.
What you're saying net is the designated hitter rule makes it a lot more interesting.
Well,
although there are those who say the opposite, talking about strategy.
Well, I know Al Michaels is sitting out there in Menlo Park saying, see, there again. Yes, there again, strategy dictated that Lemon made a move, and as it turned out, it's been the wrong one.
Foul ball down the left side, sharply struck.
They're chuckling out that way because of the job Bill Walsh is doing with the 49ers.
Ex-Rams and Chargers.
Another reason that Ron Davis has struggled, we've seen him be really wild, but also he, as we said, he throws hardly any breaking balls at all, and the Dodgers are known to be fastball hitters. And when you get behind them 2-0 and throw a fastball in the middle of the plate, they're going to have good swings. And when this happens, it just enhances the chances of them getting base hits. And there you saw Davey Lopes 2-0, fastball in the middle of the plate. He was even out in front of it, but hit it right on the nose, but just a little bit foul.
And now interrupted Davis's rhythm. Backing out for a moment, backing.
He checked on it. 3 balls and 1 strike. Rudy May, the left-hander, and Rick Russell, the right-hander, in the New York bullpen. May is the second time up for Rudy. Lopes making Davis wait.
Really building a grave. Digging a grave, I guess I should have said.
Hooton to second, Lopes to first. With 1 out, Russell up. Lemon to the mound. Might do it for Davis.
Well, he did have Rick Russell available for the entire ball game. It's been really, this would be his 4th day since he pitched on Saturday.
And what did he pitch?
Pardon me?
How many innings did he pitch? Pitched 3, didn't he?
Yes, I mean this would be a regular term on a four-day rotation. And again, he went with a rookie. Of course, he didn't pitch again in his 3rd consecutive game. Frazier didn't pitch as badly as the hits and runs indicated.
All right, Davis stays. And the pitch to Russell is in there for a strike. side, 1-1. Hooten at second. Lopes at first. 1 out. He struck out Yeager, and he walked successive hitters. 1-2 to Russell. Really a contact hitter, trying to punch it to the right side. Didn't get it. Holds it. In the hole. Base hit left field. Hooten's coming. Winfield up the throw. Won't get there. 5-1 Dodgers.
Everything is coming apart. A very poor throw by Winfield. Ron Davis failing again. And an owner who is taking careful note. Notes for next year.
Watch the throw, though. Now, he just must have bounced 6 times. Watch how low it is. See? It actually hit the dirt right about the inside of the shortstop position. Back to the mound goes Bob Lemon. That'll do it for Ron Davis. We've got a timeout. The Dodgers scoring another run, leading in the top of the 6th by a score of 5-1. 32-year-old Rick Russell, who came over to the Yankees in the trade from Chicago Cubs for Doug Bird, and Mike Griffin eventually went over to the Cubs. He was traded to New York just on the eve of the strike. You saw his numbers a moment ago. He is the 4th New York pitcher. John started. When he was lifted, the score was 1-1. Frazier relieved. He gave up 3 runs. Davis now is charged with 1. And Davy Lopes out at second base. And Bill Russell at first base are also the property of Ron Davis. Thomas has now come out to the on-deck circle and apparently is going to hit for Ron Cey as Steve Garvey comes to the plate for the Dodgers. You have 1 out. Yeager struck out to lead the inning. Then Davis walked Hooten. He walked Lopes, and Russell singled.
And there's Darrell Thomas, and it's a very wise move on Lasorda's part to take Ron out of the game. It was amazing that he started the game. That involved both courage and great physical resiliency, and Cey came through with a pair of hits.
Pitch is low and away to Garvey for ball 1. Steve had a pair of singles in 2 at-bats against Russell.
George is right. And that sign symbolizes exactly what the situation is in this stadium in the owner's box right now.
Runners go. Pitch swung on. No throw. Double steal.
Another double steal. This Yankee performance tonight has become an embarrassment to the owner, who wants everything for the fans of the Yankees. Well, you can't just deliver everything, and it may be that this World Series is proving just that. One has to feel sympathy for Bob Lemon, who's a beautiful man, who's weathered the vicissitudes of life and great personal tragedy very well. But Steinbrenner has to think about this whole team as the intentional walk is now effectuated. He told me Sunday on Sports Beat that win or lose the series, he would make changes. Now he may make sweeping changes. Look at that. Other than Goose Gossage, the relievers have failed totally. So the expected strength wasn't there. And there is age at first base with Watson. And the backup, again, as you look at Lynn, Al Revering is not your whirlwind ball player. Cerrone, young, a solid catcher, when healthy. Injuries happen him. Randolph, there's Lasorda, a solid player, and he's proved himself all over again in the World Series. Shortstop fine with Denton Milburn. Third, Nettles, getting older but still effective.
At the same time, when you consider the Dodgers time is beginning to whittle away at some
Exactly
of their
so.
key people.
This could be the last hurrah for the Dodger team as we see it here and now. As for Winfield, he's had a simply terrible series, but he's a great athlete, and that's a bad series, and that's it. Humphreys a solid and young player. Reggie's future, candidly uncertain. So there's a lot that's going to happen with this Yankee team.
The bases are loaded behind Russell now, with only one out, and Darrell Thomas steps in from the left side and bunts it foul. They had a little safety squeeze going. Opes was about 4 strides off the bag at third.
For Lasorda, one must say he has managed a superb series. Always on top of things, always forcing things, as the most recent double steal evidence.
Well, exactly, and the Dodgers have done that, but I think right now, if I'm managing, I bring in Rudy May, mainly because can't afford to give up another run. Thomas is very difficult to double up from the left side. Yep. If he bats right-handed and Rudy makes a good pitch, you set up the double play. We saw that with Larry Milbourne. From the right side, he's a double play man. From the left side, he beats the double play by a step. So I think the prophetic thing that was said in the interview with Reggie Jackson today, when you get down 3-2 in a series, sometimes a bad hop can turn the game completely around, and we've seen that tonight. The ball that Say hit up the middle.
Yep. Hit the edge of the grass and right through two.
And that makes a difference.
Nettles spears it, steps on the bag, whirls and loops the throw across, safe at first base. Another run scores. 6-1 Dodgers.
I'll tell you though, that's just what Jim Palmer was talking about. Get him batting from the right side. Yep. But that was truly a remarkable effort by Nettles. It really was. Look at it again, Jim.
He made as good a play as you can make. He barely gets to it. There you can see him step on the base.
But look at the throw. While we won't see it again, he couldn't get a lot on it, but he still got it there and barely failed to get so swift a runner as Thomas.
Now it is Dusty Baker with Garvey up at second and Thomas on first. Russell being forced by Nettles at third.
But I think
another look at it, Jim.
Here you see Greg going to his right, makes a nice play. Really a desperation throw. He's known for having one of the most accurate arms, if not the most accurate arm in the American League, and the throw is right on the money, but Thomas beat the play.
Baker to Nettles, off his chest. No play, I don't think. Nope. The bases are loaded again with 2 out for Los Angeles. 6-1 Dodgers lead. They scored 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 2 here in the 6th. Another look at it at third. The ball comes skittering up, hits him right in the chest. And it's an error on Nettles.
In the last analysis too, Keith, analyzing it out, Dodger pitching has proved to be stronger than Yankee pitching.
That's a foul ball.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir. I would indeed.
Mr. Pitcher, wouldn't you?
Most definitely. Saw Royce come along and struggle early. Pitched a masterful game.
As Garvey at third. Thomas at second. Baker at first. 2 runs are in. 2 out. Guerrero, who had a 2-run triple in the 5th inning, is at the plate.
But I think what we said after Game 2, before Game 3 in Los Angeles, is that the Dodgers were not as bad a team as we saw play in the first 2 games. And I doubt if the Yankees are as bad a team as we've seen play really in the last 4 ball games.
Well, it's been an uneven series. The Yankees won the first 2 games relatively handily. The next 3 games were scrambles. 2 of them wild. A third one, a brilliant pitching contest. And this game appears at this moment to be an embarrassment to the Yankee tradition.
Ball is lifted out into left center field. Mumphrey can't get it. Garvey scores. Here comes Thomas to the plate. The throw to third, not in time. Double Guerrero. 2 runs are in. And it's becoming a blowout. 8-1 Los Angeles.
And here you see the pitch up in the strike zone. Guerrero doesn't hit it that well. Mumphrey a little bit hesitant. Plays it on 1 hop.
Couldn't get it. The ball dropping in front of him.
He makes another transgression there. He missed the cutoff man, and Guerrero was allowed to go to second. A lot of mistakes in this inning.
Monday being walked intentionally. Baker at third, Guerrero at second. 2 down, and 4 runs in for the Dodgers. 4. And some of the folks
people
are
beginning to leave Yankee Stadium. Who can remember that around these parts?
Now Steve Yeager, as the Dodgers have batted around here in the 6th. Steve fouls it away. He struck out against Davis to lead this inning.
I think it's interesting right here that Yeager is batting. I think this is probably a tribute to how well he's played. Normally we would see Mike Scioscia, who's played against right-hand pitching all year long.
Well, whom would you vote for if you had to vote right now? MVP in the series. Maybe Tom Lasorda.
Well, he's done a great job.
As a roller to the shortstop, Milburn. Throw is in time to get Yeager, and the Dodgers are finally retired, but they have a big inning. 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, 4 more in the 6th. The Los Angeles leads it 8-1. Darrell Thomas goes in at third base. Ron Cey out of the game after certainly accomplishing something of a miracle. Dusty Baker is now in left field where he has been for the night. But the changes are that Guerrero moves over to right while this man, Landreau, goes in to play center. Kenny Landreau, who played center field most of the 2 seasons for Los Angeles. And he, of course, was with the Minnesota Twins and put in quite a bit of service in center field here in this ballpark, so he knows it quite well. Well, there will be a lot of punching and jabbing unless there's a terribly dramatic turnaround in this ball game. Coming up on Saturday, college football, we have regionals for you at the top of the day. Starting at 12 Eastern Time, Ohio State, Purdue, big win in the Big Ten. North Carolina State, South Carolina, Gamecocks resurgent. Houston had a victory over Arkansas last week. Dartmouth, Yale, a big one in the Ivy. Drake is undefeated against Tulsa. And then the big one, Penn State, ranked number 1 at Miami. Bob Watson, Greg Nettles, and Rick Cerrone for New York. The Dodgers have given Bert Hooton an 8-1 lead. Yankees up in the bottom of the 6th inning. He goes to 1-1 on Bobby. The Dodgers trying to win their first World Championship since 1965. And they're third against the Yankees. 1-2. From here on to the finish of this ball game, if Hooton gets in trouble, it will be Staff warming up. The only man that might not be told to crank up would be Fernando. The count 2-2 to Watson. On the ground to Russell at shortstop. Hill's throw in time. 1 out.
The third baseman, Greg Nettles.
Nettles pulled his double into the right field corner.
I think the most important thing for Bert Hooton is he doesn't get away from his game plan. Just because the score is 8-1 doesn't mean you're just going to throw fastballs and not go with what is your best pitch. And on Watson, he got ahead in the count, ended up getting him to hit a knuckle curveball to shortstop. So a lot of times you have a tendency to challenge the hitters more than you should. And
he pops Nettles up on the left side. Looks like it'll drift out of play. Does. The aisles are filled as people leave. At least the one on the right side. One to Nettles. To right center, base hit. Greg has 2 hits, sore hand and all. Yankee dugout looks like it's shocked, doesn't it? Stunned.
A proud men wearing a proud uniform with a proud tradition. And all that pride has been knocked out tonight.
Looks like that may be it for Greg, because the hand is obviously bothering him. Trainer, Gene Monahan's gone out. He'll leave the game.
Well, if indeed he has a hairline fracture, Jim, it was remarkable that he got the 2 hits he did.
Well, you're not as great a player as Greg Nettles is without having a lot of guts, and he certainly showed it tonight. I mean, you could see him in batting practice before the game, as you said. Had tremendous trouble hitting any ball on the inside part of the plate, but he knew that the Yankees had a win tonight and certainly did his best.
It's defined as a small, incomplete fracture of the right thumb. Rodriguez goes in to run for him and will play third base.
Running for Nettles, number 27, Aurelio Rodriguez.
The batter is Rick Cerrone. And the pitch misses. First ball 1. Yankees at bat in the bottom of the 6th, and the Dodgers leading 8-1. Bert has a long look at Dick Stello on that call, but it's ball 2. The Yankees won the first 2 here. The Dodgers won 3 in a row in Los Angeles, and they're trying to slam the door on the Yankees here tonight. 2-1. Two and 2. Dodger bullpen is active again.
If the Dodgers win this game, as appears certain, it'll be only the 2nd time in history a team has lost the first 2 and come back to win 4 in a row. The Yankees did it against these Dodgers in '78.
Howes the left-hander. And Welch the right-hander. Welch didn't get anybody out in the start that he made. He is a hard throwing right-hander. 3 and 2 now to Cerrone. Rodriguez on first. Foul. Something is going to have to happen very big, and I mean big, to wake up the Yankees, shocked by the Dodger outburst at the top of the inning. Hooten walks Cerrone.
The shortstop,
Bert Hooten has now thrown 100 pitches. You have 1 out and 2 on in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, there you see Rick Cerrone. He's yelling at Bert Hooten because he threw so many breaking balls. I guess he feels that Bert should be throwing him fastballs. Bert learned his lesson. He threw fastballs to Greg Nettles and he singled into center field. Of course, the last thing I think Hooten wanted to do was walk Cerrone. Of course, doing the Oakland playoff series, the first game that Mike Norris pitched for Oakland against Kansas City, shut them out. I guess he threw a lot of screwballs. They felt he should all throw high fastballs so they could win. But Bert is doing what he thinks is best, which is to mix up his pitches. And apparently Cerrone thought he should challenge him with fastballs.
Milburn looks at Lowe for a ball. Rick Russell is in the on-deck circle, but with only 1 out, and Hooten struggling right now with his control. Rudy May is back in the New York bullpen, cranking up in a hurry. Outside, ball 2. Here comes Tom Lasorda out of the dugout. That's what, 102 pitches now for Happy. So they'll talk, and we'll see if Lasorda wants to make the move now, or if he'll give Welch and Howe a little more time. Rick Russell is in the Yankee on-deck circle. Bob Lemon refusing to tip his hand as to which man he might call on. Obviously, he wants Lasorda to make the move. Tom is not, at this point, ready to make it.
Well, again, that's very good strategy. He comes out with 2 balls if Hooten would happen to lose this hitter. Then Bob Lemon has to make a move with his pinch hitter, and he can either come with a right-hander or the left-hander. If he waits till this Milbourne is either walked or gets a base hit, then Lemon has the upper hand in strategy.
Ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes to Milburn. You've got 1 out. You've got Rodriguez at second, Cerrone at first. 8-1 Dodgers. Hooten struggling now. 3-1. Walked him. The bases are loaded. Gamble comes out, picks up the sledgehammer.
And if Tommy's doing his job, he would wait till Oscar's announced.
He is announced. So Gamble is official, and Tom Lasorda will make a pitching change. 8-1, timeout on the field. Young Steve Howe has come on in relief of Bert Hooten. And a note on Howe. He has faced 15 batters in the series. Only twice has he had to throw more than 4 pitches to a batter. Oscar Gamble was announced as the Yankee hitter. Now it is Lou Piniella who will come out hitting right-handed, who has had a remarkable series as a hitter.
What's really come into focus in the perspective of this series has been the failure of the Yankee long relievers. And this final game is again the best evidence.
Looking at the base runners, and they are Rodriguez, Cerrone, and Milburn. You have 1 out, and Piniella in.
And whom do you want to lose with? Rick Russell? George Frazier? Or Tommy John, Jim?
Well, if I'm going to lose a ball game, I have to go with Tommy John, and I think most managers would have done that. As we said earlier, Bob Lemon gambled, and it hasn't paid off. As most of the moves he's made, he's just had a tough series in that respect.
Howe to Piniella. Fouled off, strike one. 8-1 Dodgers. An awfully big mountain for the Yankees. Piniella turned and yelled something into the Dodger dugout. High fly ball, lifted, foul, out of play to the right. You can see he has, as I said, had a most productive postseason. Forster and Welch in the Dodger bullpen now. 2 strikes on Lou Piniella. Punch foul. Howe's throwing him strikes and he's fouling them all. Inside. Base hit figures to deliver 2 for New York. Up the middle, base hit. Rodriguez scores. Cerrone will come. Nope, he does not come. He took the big turn, and Joe Altobelli, the third base coach, flagged him down. Bases are still loaded.
Here you see a fastball in the middle of the plate. Piniella, as he's done all series, goes with the pitch and just wraps it up the middle.
Completely professional batsman.
Not too good a base running, Howard. There is no way that Kenny Landreau is coming up and throwing that ball to home plate, because if you do that and you make a bad throw, you allow 2 other runners to get into scoring position.
Don't understand stopping the man at third.
Nope. And I can understand some sense of, I guess, restraint, but
that's what happens when you're really down. You begin to play tentatively, afraid to make one single mistake in any direction.
Willie Randolph, big night for Willie, a double and a home run and a walk. 2 balls and no strikes for Randolph. Now the Yankee home folks take a little heart. Bases are loaded, and Ron Peronoski, the Dodger pitching coach, on the way to the mound to talk to young Steve Howe.
But the one, I think, important thing that Tommy Lasorda has done, and there you see Terry Forrester, the left-hander, and Bob Welch, the right-hander, is gotten Oscar Gamble out of the game. And they've also used Bobby Mercer. They don't have the left-handed power that they would normally have on their bench.
You still have 1 out, a run in, bases loaded. Ball is hit to the right. Guerrero flags it down. Runner tags from third and does not come. Good throw by Guerrero. That's 2 out. I think Lou is a little upset because the man didn't come from third.
That's what Lou Piniella, you might have observed, just said. Worst base running I've ever seen.
Humphrey hitting from the right side takes ball 1.
Well, if there ever was a statistic kept for the worst base running in 4 consecutive games, I think the Yankees would qualify. They just have not played the way they played most of the season. I know playing against them. They wouldn't have finished the first half if they played like this.
Inside corner for a strike. Tentative. Very tentative. When you're being blown out, you've got to be aggressive. Fouled away. Cynthia now. A 1-2 pitch to Mumphrey. Loop to right. Guerrero makes the catch. The Yankees leave the bases full. And so after 6 innings, in game number 6, 8-2 Dodgers. Back with more after this from our local stations. Lou Piniella, having delivered the pinch hit single, the ball is lined to right by Willie Randolph. Piniella turns and sees the base runner at third, has not made the move to home plate, and reflects total exasperation. Rudy May now comes on to pitch for New York, and he is the 5th pitcher in the ball game.
Well, the purists of baseball going to be hard put to find art in this.
Steve Howell.
If you want the truth.
Steve Howell will bat. Having come in from the bullpen and did his job. Dodgers lead it 8-2 and bat here in the top of the 7th inning. Rudy May, strike on the corner. Fouled away, and it's 2 strikes on the Dodger pitcher, Steve Howell. Then it'll be the top of the order, Lopes and Russell. Lope, 1-2. Steve's gone. Strikeout for May. 1 out, and Lopes will come. The Dodgers in the 5-game series against Houston, down 0-2 to win 3 in a row at home. Back to the wall. Monday hits a home run on a cold day in Montreal over the center field fence in the League Championship Series. Hooten, the MVP in the League Championship Series. They come to New York. They lose 2. And now they are on the verge of winning their first World Championship since 1965. Lopes takes it high. The Goodyear Blimp America providing the visuals from the sky tonight out of Houston, Texas, with our cameraman Charlie Mitchell and the pilot captain Larry Chambers. Good-looking fella from Spring, Texas. May at 2-0 to Lopes, comes inside to make it 3 balls and no strikes. The middle relievers, as Howard said, may well have been New York's Achilles heel. Ball 4. Certainly a soft underbelly.
The shortstop, Bill
It's going to be very hard to pick the MVP in this series. Always presuming the Dodgers win it, which seems so apparent now, especially after the Yankee debacle in the last inning. That base running. Guerrero's got to be considered with 7 RBIs. Say's got to be considered. Got 6 RBIs. Came back from a beating. Yeager's got to be considered. And on a basis of overall consistency, Garvey's got to be considered.
Russell looks at Lowe. I'll tell you one thing, there will be some dancing in Los Angeles if the Dodgers do win this. They are certainly sitting on a... They've got their foot in the door. And the cork about to pop in the clubhouse. May playing catch with Watson with Lopes on first base. 1 out. Garvey on deck. And a 1-ball count on Bill Russell. 2 balls.
Marlo Thomas. Must be a Dodger fan.
Hey, Howard.
You can be sure of that.
How do you know?
Because I know she is. So's Danny. Or Daddy. Pitches high and tight to make it 3 balls and no strikes. It has become a laborious evening for the Yankees. There's a strike. More activity in the New York bullpen. Runner goes. Ball hit to Milburn. Lopes in at second base. On the hit and run, they throw out Russell at first. 2 out. Davey at the turn for Steve Garvey.
Well, I think any pitcher will tell you, you come in long relief and you're behind 8-2, it's hard to concentrate. We saw Bert Hooton go out there in the 6th inning with a 8-1 lead, had his control problems, a little bit difficulty in concentrating. Not an easy game to pitch in when your team's way ahead or way behind.
High in the air to center. Humphrey. Inning is over. In the middle of the 7th, Los Angeles 8, New York 2. Now it'll be Dave Winfield, Reggie Jackson, and Bob Watson for New York, trailing by 6 and hitting in the bottom of the 7th against Steve Howe. And it's ball 1 to Winfield. Out of play. ABC News Nightline. I'm sure most of you have heard that the Senate vote swung today in the president's favor. The senators approved the sale of AWACS reconnaissance planes to Saudi Arabia. That's the topic tonight on Nightline with Ted Koppel. High bouncer to short. 1 out.
Now you hear the boo birds, and certainly Winfield feels terribly. But in perfect truth, this Yankee team, well, Willie Randolph's trying to clap it up a little bit, but they have been flat, listless. They look like a team all day that came, all evening, that came to be beaten, Jim.
Well, they say pitching's anywhere from 75 to 90% of the game, and tonight they made a really what turned out to be a monumental decision. Pinch hit for Tommy John. George Frazier came in, did not. And again, for the third time this series, pitched that poorly, but circumstances allowed the Dodgers to put 3 runs on the board. He came back with a 4-run inning. Anytime your pitching staff gives up 8 runs, it's tough to look good as a team.
That's for sure.
Howe has Jackson at 1-2. Struck him out.
Now Jackson gets it from the fans.
Might be the last time you'll see Reggie in a Yankee uniform. Could be.
Not the kind of aftermath you'd expect to the exciting 3 consecutive games in Los Angeles.
Bob Watson fouls it away. Well, I'll tell you, you get into a street fight with these Dodgers with the speed they have and the power they have. And if you don't have good pitching, and Houston has good pitching, and Houston couldn't beat them. They couldn't put them down.
Interesting you mentioned Houston. Before the game, let's watch this.
To Russell at shortstop. Handles it well. And throws out Watson. So Steve Howe gets New York in order in the bottom of the 7th, and after 7, 8-2 Dodgers. To the top of the 8th inning we go, in a ball game that is now long, all things considered. But then when you've scored 10 runs, it takes a while. Darryl Thomas, Dusty Baker, and Pedro Guerrero. Randolph, 1 out.
Stands half empty now. People pouring out by the droves.
Dusty Baker. Popped him up for Randolph. 2 out.
The right fielder, Pedro Guerrero.
So Rudy May summoned out of the pen as the 5th New York pitcher. On the job. Here's one of the fellows, very much a prime candidate for the MVP award. Bit slow to get started, but once he got his engine running, he's been tough.
Fine looking young hitter.
And Ron Say.
But sentimentally and for his performance and for his courage, I'd vote for Ron Say.
Low inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
What about you, Jim?
Yeah, I think I'd go with him. He turned the whole series around. Trailing 2-0, hit the 3-run home run off for Getty.
What about you, Keith?
I agree. That ball is well hit in the corner. Winfield loping over, and it's in the seats. It's a home run.
Well,
Pedro Guerrero. Will there be some call for a second ballot here?
Might have to take another look. Clutch home run to tie the game Sunday. Tremendous day today. 5 runs batted in.
And you see him hit a curveball.
And it was well hit. So the Dodger right-handed power did find the seats in Yankee Stadium tonight, didn't it? Also, Guerrero's triple found the wall at 4:30. Pitch to Landreau.
I didn't see Dave back at the fence leaping for that one, which is not meant by way of criticism. Maybe he just couldn't have gotten there. The ball got there so fast.
Well, he hit that ball with a lot of topspin, and it looked like he really misjudged it because he went to the line and the ball actually went out a little bit to right center. That could have something to do with the wind. Just barely got in there. Normally, as you said, you see him trying to make an effort to catch that ball.
Landreau is called out looking, but the Dodgers add another run. And the lead is big for Los Angeles. Back after this word from our local stations. Rodriguez for New York in the bottom of the 8th. Then it'll be Cerrone and Milburn. In the meantime, the Dodger faithful are starting to put on their dancing shoes. Steve Howe in relief of Bert Hooton, trying to save it for him. 9-2.
As Howe pitches to Rodriguez, Keith, I was mentioning before, John McMullen, who owns the Houston Astros, is here tonight. Talking with him before the game, he said, we thought we really had the Dodgers on the hook this year, but they have a way of scratching and clawing and coming back. And he said by the time we reached the 5th game, and we were tied 2-2 after the 2-0 lead.
Stroke going to drop in for a base hit.
By the time we reached the 5th game after the 2-0 lead, he said, I got a call early in the morning of the 5th game from a psychic. And I took the call. And I began to do the things the psychic said I should do. And he said that didn't help. He lost with Nolan Ryan.
That's foul back by Cerrone. Pedro Guerrero has stepped into some pretty fancy company in World Series history with his 5 runs batted in this game. How about Messrs. Lazzeri, Dickey, and Kluszewski?
Big clue.
Ball is hit in the air to right center field and caught by Guerrero.
It changed my vote. It's Guerrero. He's just playing brilliantly. So many repercussions to this season as it winds down. Those watching this in Cincinnati probably bitter over the fact that their club had the best record in the National League, feeling they should have been in there, the best season-long record. But give the Dodgers their due.
They will fight you. Here's Milburn with 1 out, and Rodriguez at first base. Popped up on the right side for Davey Lopes. 2 down, and here comes Bobby Brown to the plate.
That young man won't have a happy memory of this series. He is young. He is a great athlete, and other great ones have gone through this kind of thing. Referring to these 2 teams, I remember when Gil Hodges didn't get a hit 20 times at bat or more. It was an horrendous series for the late Mr. Hodges. He came out of it.
Go back to 1971 when we played the Pirates. Willie Stargell was one of those streaks where just could not hit the ball. And you go back to 1979, and who was the dominant player of that World Series? Right. Willie Stargell.
Willie Stargell, very good analogy.
Well, we had Clay Dalrymple in '71 as one of our catchers, and he said when Stargell gets in one of those, I guess, slumps, he just doesn't pick up the ball. Dave pitched Winfield well. He's helped him out by being very impatient, but I'm sure he'll have another chance sometime.
Brown swinging a miss for 1-2 count. 2 out, and Rodriguez on first. Steve Howe pitching for Los Angeles in relief of Bert Hooton. Bert went 5 1/3. Bert's going to come out of the series at 1-1. Foul tip held by Yeager. Brown is gone. Yankees are out at the end of 8 innings of play. The score is the Los Angeles Dodgers 9, the New York Yankees 2. Dave LaRoche in warming up for New York. Scoring summary goes this way. Back to the third. Randolph a home run, 1-0 New York. Fourth inning, Baker single. Monday 2-out single. Yeager an RBI single. Tied it at 1. Then into the fifth inning, the rundown on it there is New York made it a 4-1 ball game, and Guerrero's 2-run triple, the big blow. In the sixth inning, the Dodgers pretty much put it away, running it out to 8-1, and then Guerrero's home run makes it 9-2 as the Yankees got their second run in the sixth inning, and then some very tentative base running denied them an obvious opportunity to at least have 3 runs on the board. But we are at 9-2, and here we go in the top of the ninth. Dave LaRoche, one of 2 New York players not used prior to tonight in the World Series, the other being Dave Reverie. Rick Cerrone being stung, foul tip. There were a total of 47 players used in the first 5 games of the World Series, 50 eligible. The one Dodger has not been used is Alejandro. Oh, there's the blooper from LaRoche. Might as well add that.
Yeah. Try to get a laugh out of it.
Who threw that blooper pitch in the old days? Rip Sewell? Or?
Yep, threw it. Rip Sewell.
Yep. Did Williams hit the home run in the All-Star game off it, or do you recall that?
Yeah.
Yeager fouls it away.
Ted belted it. I think it was in Tiger Stadium in 41, I believe. He had a tremendous All-Star.
To the right side, late break. But the catch is made by Reggie.
Well, for Righetti, there'll be many more seasons. No question about him. He had an unfortunate outing Friday against Fernando Valenzuela, who himself was shaky but came on strongly in the late innings. But Righetti, he can pitch. He's got a great future.
Steve Howe swinging and missing. Dodgers at bat, top of the ninth. One last chance for New York, and they trail by 7. Two strikes. And forever and a day, they're going to talk about Bob Lemon lifting Tommy John after 4 innings in a 1-1 ball game. Two balls and 2 strikes to Steve now. Foul back.
Especially painful for Bob Lemon. Hi there. Must be the open disagreement and dismay of John at being removed.
Howe strikes out. That's 2 down.
There is Bob.
The second baseman, Davey Lopes.
Now Dave Lopes with the crowd. Majority of them's gone. We had at one time 56,513 in the ballpark. With 2 away, Davey takes Hine away for ball 1.
I doubt there are 20,000 here now.
I don't think so either. The Yankees will have Randolph, Mumphrey, Winfield. The 4th man would be Jackson in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-1. on a cold night on the edge of winter in the Bronx of New York. The Dodgers have battered the Yankees. Lopes pops it up, out of play on the right side. And the count is 1-2 now on Baby. The blooper. Lopes swings and misses. Cerrone dropped it and throws it up.
Well,
He couldn't resist it, could he?
yeah. At the very end, LaRoche put his act together and he's taken it on the road.
He gets the Dodgers in order in the top of the ninth. One last gasp remaining for the Yankees. America sailing overhead. Barry Chambers flying her. Charlie Mitchell giving you the picture. And here we'll go as young Steve Howe is going to try to set the Yankees down, and then the Dodgers are going to have, how shall I say this, a heck of a party.
Well, I don't think Tommy, excuse me, Lasorda can eat too much. I had lunch with him today and he had a Frankfurter omelet. And I don't think it's set. Yeah, I never heard of it before. Just chewed it up, and I don't think it's set too well.
Undoubtedly, a Dodger dog.
Digestive system.
Willie Randolph was a home run and a double tonight.
Well, there's an old baseball phrase you're kind of reserved for games like this, 9 in the ninth. And that's about what it's going to take to win. Kind of always jokingly say that on the bench. But it's happened before.
Well, it's a left-hander and a right-hander in the Los Angeles bullpen. I would imagine that's Messrs. Forster and Welch. Two balls and a strike to Willie Randolph. See the information there on Willie. He's put his name in the World Series record book. Fouls it away. And the few who remain up in the upper decks scuffle for a souvenir. Cynthia Ann Howe wed just over a year to the young man out on the mound, a man from Michigan. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Speaking of Michigan, an old, good, and long-time friend left us, Bob Uford, so many years. The radio voice of the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan, Michigan, Michigan. How much fun he was. We'll all miss him.
Randolph has certainly gotten on, Keith. Breaks the record of the Babe. 9 walks. Meantime, Peter O'Malley has just reserved Chasen's for the celebration party.
They drew over $2 million in a short season. There's a strike to Mumphrey.
And Jim Palmer's rooting for 9 in the ninth.
If there had not been a strike, I don't think there's any question the Dodgers would have gone over $3 million again in attendance. Might have broken their own record.
Not only that, they have the oil rights under the land.
Well, I know you New Yorkers still chafe some at Walter's decision. However, those of us in the West have enjoyed them, and he did make a heck of a deal. Well, they may break.
They may break it.
Might break it, yeah. Fouled out of play. The Dodgers had 1 in the 4th to tie the Yankees at 1-1 after New York had scored in the bottom of the third. You got 3 more in the 5th and 4 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. That's how we have a 9-2 score with the Yankee run coming in the bottom of the 6th, their second. Mumphrey swings and strikes out. Bob Uecker will be in the Dodger clubhouse, and undoubtedly when he comes to get in the car, he's going to be sopping wet. Dave Winfield.
All the frustration of the remaining Yankee fans here comes out against Dave Winfield. Now there are mutterings about all the money he was paid and all of the rest. Human nature.
Well, I know our club in Baltimore.
Yankee fans, by the way, should be congratulated. They behaved beautifully here tonight. There was
high towering fly ball to right field. Guerrero. 2 down.
There was a frisbee and an orange, and nothing else as I can remember. Right, Keith?
So far.
Behaved very beautiful.
Now Reggie with 1 more cut.
Fans are chanting Reggie. Those relative few who are still here, perhaps remembering all the heroics and sensing that, look at them, that this is the last time, or could be.
Out of play.
And Reggie with an instinct, a flair for the dramatic, undoubtedly aware of the very same possibility. Still no word on the MVP.
We'll probably get it. In fact, we will get it in the clubhouse. Well, Steve Howe has the edge. 2 strikes, and Cynthia is about to fly out of here. Two-strike pitch to Jackson. 1-2.
Rick Cerrone, as we pan down the Yankee bench, Ron Davis, Dave Righetti, Charlie Lau just walked by, Barry Foote with the mustache, the big brush mustache.
Foul tip, bangs off Yeager's face mask.
Maybe it's fitting that Reggie be up there now. Such have been the nature of this man's heroics that I reached a point where the fans here at Yankee Stadium thought that every World Series he could do what he did once. Hit 3 home runs on 3 swings in a game, and maybe in a couple of games.
1-2. 2-2. Away. It's a 9-2 ball game. Steve Howe in his early 20s. Reggie Jackson in his middle 30s. Will not yield. Foul to the right, out of play.
5 years he's been a Yankee. Years of turbulence, squabbles with Martin, squabbles with the owner, George Steinbrenner, but somehow always with the capacity to come through. This year, a great decline in his batting average, and finally the greatest struggle of all. The struggle with himself, the struggle with self-doubt, the struggle with worry. Was it to be all over for him? And now this.
2-2 with 2 out in the bottom of the ninth. Well, they're stretching the string as tight as they can in the final moment. 3-2. Lopes over, boots it, picks it up, safe.
And Reggie hobbling, limping. That calf muscle problem that disabled him, apparently rearing its head again. But he gave it all he had going down that baseline.
See Randolph scooting by there with 2 out. Willie is on second base now. Reggie is on first base.
And that's when he did it. That last long stride.
Davy Lopes apparently has got some dust or something in his eye because he's going down trying to dig the ball out. You see the dirt flying around. Davy is coming to the dugout. They're going to give him an error on the play. Did he hurt himself?
Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder, no one is on you.
That incidentally is the 6th error by Davy Lopes. You see, it is a record. They may get Steve Sachs out to play second base. As Davy walked to the dugout with a great deal of purpose and disappeared. However, he will be part of a championship team, and whatever manner of record you might consider errors in a series and in a game, his pain will be alleviated considerably by the ring he'll wear on his hand.
You wonder at that moment what Steve Garvey and Reggie Jackson might be talking about, Jim.
Looked like they were talking about the ground ball that Lopes missed, that it stayed down, but no, yeah, knowing Reggie could be
Davey
anything.
comes back now. Lopes is back out of the dugout. I think he had a face full of dirt.
Garvey might have asked him what size uniform he wears.
Dodgers, eh? I doubt it.
I don't know about that. They're still smarting over the Gold Stenhouse deal.
That they are.
Bob Watson with 2 on in a 9-2 ball game with 2 out at the bottom of the 9th inning, and Steve Howe throws it high.
The ending is typical of the whole game. Sloppy. From the Yankee point of view.
Welch continues to throw in the Los Angeles bullpen. Watson hits it high in the air. For the center fielder, Ken Landreau, this should do it. The Dodgers are the 1981 champions of baseball.
And so there is not the usual noise making. It became apparent midway in the game, almost with the departure of Tommy John, that the Dodgers would take command. Now the Dodgers leave the field. Keith, I think it's time for Jim, you and me, jointly to congratulate them on their acquisition of the World Series championship. Lasorda, kissing Peter O'Malley too, for that matter, but Mrs. O'Malley and everybody else.